Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome to the live chat for the live chat. Geez, so much editing. Welcome to the live stream for the podcast. If this is the first time you're tuning in, these live shows are edited down and released as MP3s as well. So we hope you're checking those out. They're edited down. They're have sound effects and stuff in them, so they're a little bit tighter, maybe a little bit more enjoyable. But we appreciate you tuning in, checking it out, whether you're watching us live or listening to us later. So we'll give you a quick recap, which we don't normally do on the DayTrippers game, because usually we just kind of like jump right into some story elements as we get started, and just sort of snowballs from there. But our session 6 was detox at Reggie's. Most of the session was Reggie and Nash dealing with the edit. Dealing with the ramifications
dealing with the edit, yes.
Yeah, dealing with the ramifications of Chip's addiction to Zoom Zoom. So he was tied down to the bed at Reggie's place, and went through a ton of phases of just trying to get him coming down off the Zoom Zoom. There was screaming and bargaining and
sexual nightmares.
Well, that's Reggie. So
I don't know why he went and got addicted to Zoom Zoom. I mean, I can't comment on how.
But Reggie had a plan, which was surprising. The first part was to get him tied down and start to bring him down, and then the part 2 was to call Bento and get Chip over to Diaspora Ranch, because they have like a crash bay sort of thing for DayTrippers that come back and they're not in their right mind. So Nash made the call. We got Chip over to Diaspora. They took him in the back, so he was under sedation. They're trying to work with him. We're hoping that he's gonna come back to himself. That's not a guarantee. He saw some really bad shit and then was addicted to drugs, so that's never a good thing. We wound up following up with Bento while we were there. Explained the situation. What was happening with Suzie. He was a little dismissive at first when Nash was like, "Oh, my girlfriend." But when we explained the nuts and bolts of the Somnambula situation, he agreed to help for selfish reasons. And Reggie and Nash decided to throw in with them. He's the leader, the manager, however you want to call it, of DarkMatter Inc. It's a ex-military Merc type organization, provides security. So he was able to set us up with some new names, new identities, new PDAs, and all that. So Nash and Reggie took off to Sacramento. They're currently staying at the Anxious Arms. It was Saturday night when we left off. We had a 5 a.m. wake up for champagne breakfast on Sunday, and I'll kick it over to Todd, and we'll take it from there.
I think you've covered pretty much all the important parts. You'll have to, for our listening audience, you'll have to go back if you want to figure out what sexual nightmares means. That's a little character trait of Reggie's.
I feel like we're going to revisit that at some point.
Well, we have to revisit that because that's involved with your character structure, right? That's one of your life shapers. You're addicted to Comanaprazole, and that's one of the side effects. So every once in a while, I'm going to throw some sexual nightmares in at you.
I love it. Love it.
So having left Diaspora Ranch, you've now decided to throw in with DarkMatter Inc. You're right. Bento is the head guy over there. He is the director of field operations for DarkMatter Inc. They're a mercenary corporation. And if their name reminds you of anything, you should think Blackwater, because that's a little bit what they're based on. So you've now got your new IDs. You have decided to throw in with DarkMatter. You're hanging out at this lovely little motel, I guess is the best word for it. And you've decided to lay low for about 24 hours. Is there anything you guys need to take care of or want to take care of while you're waiting to get the call from Bento? He said it would take him about 24 hours to talk with his superiors and figure out how to handle this situation.
As we faded out on last session, I think both of us had crashed really hard. We'd been up for like 2 days with the Marlowe thing. Came back to deal with Reggie. So I think we crashed at Reggie's for like half an hour, maybe 2 hours while things were going down, and then when we came back, we just kind of sacked out. So
as a point of order, we did set up a 5 a.m. wake up call for a champagne breakfast.
Well, you did, Reggie did. Don't say we.
We are a team. Also, I also have written down 2 bullet points here: slucking and fleeping.
Yeah, we were trying to determine what to call sleep fucking.
Oh yeah.
It was one or the other.
I'm glad I wrote that down. Then I feel like that was an important bullet point that we should hit upon, and I'm very pleased that I now know why I wrote it down. Good.
I will point out that we're in a 2-room suite and my door is locked.
I will also point out that Reggie does have a lockpick set. No, he doesn't. And he not only with the sexual nightmares, sexual sleepwalking, sexual lockpicking. All right, never mind.
All right, so do we want to bring this in with the phone ringing at 5 a.m. and is there like a central sitting area? Is there a phone in each room? Like how are we sort of set up?
There is in fact a phone in each room, but they're the same line.
Yeah.
So so both of your phones ring. It's an automated voice system. So you get your wake up call. It's time for the Sunday morning champagne brunch.
Nash just like reaches out and swipes the phone off the table, and it clatters to the floor. And you can hear like, and then, your wake up call is arrived at 5 o'clock. Blah blah blah. Son of a bitch, Reggie. So he rolls over to try to go back to bed, I guess. And then in the intervening like 30 seconds before the phone starts to beep because it's off the fucking
so much blood.
Son of a bitch.
That'll get him.
Flicks the cover back over. Grabs the phone, slams the receiver down, stands there for a minute. The cat looks like completely perplexed because I think he was like sleeping, not on my head, but like on the pillow. So almost like a hat. So he's on the pillow looking all kinds of pissed off. So he stands there for a minute, try to collect himself. And then I guess he hears you screaming.
No. Okay. Oh. Okay, all right. No. Oh, okay.
He exits his room, goes to the other room, just starts banging on the door. Reggie, get up!
I'm up. Wait, no. Okay, now I'm up. All right. Yeah. What is it?
It's 5 o'clock. They gave us your friggin' wake up call.
Oh, champagne breakfast. Thank you. Oh, I'm glad you did it. I'm going to get my stuff cleaned up. I'm going to get my stuff put myself together, and we're going to head down for a nice champagne breakfast.
You know what might be a good idea, you guys, is start getting in the habit of calling each other by your pseudonyms.
Oh, shit, yeah.
Yeah, I was very happy that I found that sheet of paper. Yeah, we can, right, that's, Nash, I've been doing some thinking. We should probably try and call each other by our pseudonyms. Get used to it. Little practice.
Sure thing, Brandon.
And you have to refresh my memory. Who are you again?
Stefan.
Stephen?
Yeah, okay, sure.
Stefan.
It's Stefan with an F, but you know what? You could call him Steph. I don't know.
All right, I'm gonna figure this out. Stefan, is that right?
Yes.
Stefan. All right. Nothing's gonna go wrong. What was your last name?
Takash. Just stick with Stefan. It's fine. You would never call me by my last name.
Yeah.
All right. Well, my last name is Nishim.
It's Nashim. It's just like it's written out.
It's not that hard. Nashim.
Nashim. Okay. All right. I've got it. Brandon
Like
Nashim.
machine, but Nashim.
Well, now all I hear is machine. That's all I'm going to hear now. Stefan Takash and Brandon Nashim.
You got it.
We did it.
He walks. He goes back to his room. Actually, he goes into the bathroom because he wants to get in there before Reggie.
All right. As you guys are getting ready to go gearing up, let's figure out what your plan for the day is. Is there anything that you feel you need to take care of tactically or strategically?
Should we gear up? We got some money. Should we try to get some gear?
I have my kit. I brought that with me when we went to the ranch, so I still have my military perk kits. I have my gun, my knife, rope, all the shit we would normally have if we were going to be going into combat. I have that.
All right. Okay. Well, in that case, I suppose, I've got a stealth pro kit. I still got the Uzi written on here. I think I take a hit. I don't know why I'm thinking this way, but I think Reggie would probably be more comfortable with like a larger gun. I think I'll get my full bonus if I get a larger gun.
Mm-hmm. We can definitely head to the gun store. We'll probably need to refill ammo anyway. They're waiting for Bento to call. Like Nash doesn't have anything. Like he was like get out and lay low, so he is content to do that. If we're gonna go out, he would, definitely like pick up a ball cap like the first at the 7-Eleven. Pick up a baseball cap and put that on.
I'll tell you what.
Are you trying to look like a tourist, maybe?
Nah, just blend in. So if there's facial recognition, like maybe the brim of the hat, throws that off. So he's not as just visible walking down the street to anybody. Be like, oh, there goes Jack Nash,
Gotcha. Okay, so a hat, maybe some dark glasses.
Yeah, a pair of sunglasses, like a pair of aviators.
If you think it's best to just wait, we don't have to do any of that stuff. It was just on the forefront of my brain. I'm fine with the Uzi. I was just throwing something out there. We can wait until you
can definitely head to a gun store. The reason I mention it is because when you last spoke to Bento, which was late last night, he said he would need 24 hours. It is the weekend. He has to talk with his superiors, inform them of your situation, let them know that he has given you false IDs, and talk about how they want to approach the situation. You guys have now onboarded. So it's not official, but sort of unofficially can consider yourselves employees of Dark Matter. But you have a day, because he said it would take him a day. So you're probably not going to hear from him until tonight. And so that leads me to my question. If there's anything you want to take care of tactically, you have Sunday to do it. Sure. Or we can just sort of zoom ahead to the call from Bento.
No, I don't think that's a bad plan. Like if Reggie feels more comfortable with a long arm, and that's something that we can reasonably accomplish. Like I don't like in this future if there's a 24-hour waiting period or a week-long waiting period, or if we just walk in and buy something. I assume Bento could probably provide something if we wanted to have not on the books. We would be purchasing under a different name.
Correct. The waiting period is just minutes.
Okay.
Not at the places I go. Get right in, I'll get my stuff.
Yeah, when it comes to common civilian, over the counter armaments, you can't get any of the really fancy stuff. Like, you're not going to get EMP weapons or laser rifles. But you can get things like standard slugs, handguns, shotguns, You can get non-lethal weapons like compression rifles, which basically just shoots a bolt of air, highly compressed air. It's not a long-range weapon, but it has the advantage of you don't have to be a real great shot.
Yeah. Well,
you can buy stuff like that over the counter, and it only takes minutes for the background check.
Yeah. Well, what do you say? What do you say we hold off and see what Bento's going to provide, right? Because then we're completely off the grid, even with the new names. If you want to go down, I guess we could go have champagne. Look, I'm probably just going to have coffee, but if you want to go down, we could check it out. I'm going to have to call around a couple places to see about boarding Jasper.
Well, maybe just room service then. I'm totally fine with that. I think you're right. I think you're right. We need to just at least get to this first contact without any unnecessary risks. I'm on board.
All right, that works for me.
Okay.
Just spend a quiet day. We could recuperate a little bit after our, long couple of days.
I found this deck of cards. How about some Go Fish?
Yeah, sure.
But the way I play, we play for blood. And he flips out a switchblade. And then we smash cut to the next whatever. Reggie's hands are bleeding a little bit.
Let me show you how we play Mumbly Peg where I come from.
Damn it, you're a good Go Fish player.
So it's room service. So you're running out to get a little bit of disguise, a little baseball cap and sunglasses. Is that happening?
Yeah, I think I'll probably do that.
Okay. Do you guys go out together?
I would. It would be buddy system.
Okay. You have no encounters on the streets. The town it's pretty quiet. It's a Sunday, and not a lot going on. But there is in fact a gun store just a few blocks down. If you wanted to think about that, you get back up to the room. You have your breakfast, and I imagine that you're flipping through your PDAs, looking up the details of your new identity so you can get used to who you're supposed to act like, who you're supposed to be.
Yep.
And Stefan, that's Nash.
Mm-hmm.
You come across a breaking news video on the local news channel that catches your eye because there's a hand-drawn picture. It's a wanted suspect. Holy shit, that looks like Fitch.
So he's scrolling through, and like just the black and white pic kind of catches his eye, and he, scrolls back down, and it doesn't dawn on him right away, and he's like, escape. And he looks at the picture again. He's like, what? Fuck. Brandon, come here.
Yes.
They're in the middle of an audio feed. You can hit the button to hear what the anchor is saying.
Yep, I turn it on as I'm walking towards you.
As you turn it on, she's just completing a sentence. Sam Dunbar and Josh DeRosa. Somebody?
Oh, they're John. Go ahead.
Let me wait for his headphones to come back. Okay, you with us again?
Yep, sorry.
There he is. Sam Dunbar and Josh DeRosa. And here you see two photographs of the guys that came after you a couple days ago at your house. Security guards for Somnambula Incorporated. Their alleged assailant, Benjamin Fitch, is on the run. If you've seen this man, and here comes a picture of Fitch again, you're encouraged to not approach, but alert the local authorities. Once again, Benjamin Fitch, wanted for the murder of Sam Dunbar and Josh DeRosa of Somnambula Incorporated. And now with the weather.
Fuck, they set him up.
Oh shit.
But here's the thing, I think they fucking killed him already, because he's not around anywhere. I think they're just fucking covering up that their guys got fucking whacked.
Oh.
I mean, technically he did kill them, but I think this is where the spin begins.
Jesus. And wow. Well, I mean, Nash,
this better is, him than us, huh?
Well, I mean, we're kind of in the best position we can be. I mean, what are you worried about them coming after you now?
Well, I mean, they already tried to kill me once. I mean,
they can't. I mean, they're framing Fitch. You know, I mean, I think an obvious move if you were on the radar screen would be to frame you and say that you're wanted.
I mean, I guess that's true. I mean,
it's what I would do.
Yeah. But shit. I mean, he was expendable, so I mean, for them to, and he kind of hangs his head and he's like,
well, where's Suzie then?
I think they killed Fitch and they grabbed her, and they either wrote the note or had her, you know, while she was in that state, write it.
Yeah, that looks to be exactly what happened. I don't think anyone's going to find Fitch.
I don't believe so, no. But I mean, like you said, the saving grace is that it's not me, right? So I mean, we do have some latitude still to operate. I mean, maybe they feel like they're safe in their glass tower. I mean, who am I but just, you know, fucking ex-lieutenant. You know, what the hell am I going to do?
Well, we're caught up in Blackwater now. That's a position of strength. So, but we'll bide our time.
Yeah. Well, we'll have to wait for Bento. I mean, if they look into Fitch's background, I mean, my name is going to come up for sure. We should probably not really be out and about.
Nope, I agree, and I think we should tell Bento that of this development. See if he has anything to offer.
Yeah. Although, I mean, so we're out of town. Like, we're out of where, you know, Fitch and I live. So, I mean, there's that as well. I mean, I'm not at, you know, in any of my old haunts.
Right. We could say we knew that you lived like an hour south of Sacramento, which I'm thinking is somewhere like Salinas or Modesto. Now you're right on the outskirts of Sacramento.
Okay. I'm going to put lived in Modesto. I don't think we ever established that.
Yeah, we didn't. We just knew it was like an hour south of Sacramento.
Yeah. I mean, things are in our favor, I guess, to a greater or lesser extent. We're off the radar. We're thrown in with Darkwater.
What'd you do with your old PDAs?
I mean, if Bento didn't take them, I probably just would have smashed. I don't think I had a phone anymore. I think I lost my phone at some point, right? I threw it out the window.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, you did.
You did.
It got run over on the freeway.
And Chips is on the red planet, Arette. So I guess Reggie. I mean,
right. So Reggie's the only one who this question applies to. What'd you do with your PDA, Reg? I'm sorry. I mean Brandon.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Now I've been working on this, so don't judge me. My name is Brandon Nishim. What I did with my PDA was I threw it into the toilet, and I just let it short out on its own, and then I smashed it to bits after the water had damaged it beyond repair.
Okay, good. You're trying to do a fake voice?
This is Brandon Nishim. Nishim.
Yeah, you had it the first time.
Yeah. Yes, I did. Oh! Reggie's eyes go cross for a couple seconds, and he snaps back.
Wow. Okay, so good, you're not traceable via your PDAs. If anyone had been tracking you, then late last night that stopped. I guess though the trail, if anyone had been tracking you, the trail stops right here in the toilet.
Well, did you do it here or at Diaspora? Where at what point?
At Diaspora. Diaspora.
Okay, all right. That's
yeah,
good.
no, I did it. I took it into the bathroom as soon as we knew, and I gave it a swirly, and I smashed it to bits.
That's fair.
I guess that was off screen.
Yeah,
it was.
And it makes sense. It makes sense because it took Bento a little while to arrive back again with the PDAs for you guys. Yeah. So you had a little time knowing that it was going to happen.
I purposely did it off screen so that nobody would know about it until this moment. Not even us.
Righteous.
And by us, I mean, not us. Never mind.
All right. Anything else to fill out the day, or should we just zoom ahead to the call from Bento? Anything else? Any other errands you need to run?
I think
you want to find a place for Jasper. We can assume that you do that.
Yeah. He would make some calls. So he would try to he would look up other stuff about that breaking story to see what other information he could find, to see if his name had been brought up. To look to see what information they had about Fitch, see if they made things up about Fitch.
They do say in some of the stories that Fitch is known to have an accomplice. The accomplice's name is not mentioned, and there's no eyewitness.
Oh, shit.
Okay. No eyewitness. So yeah, he would follow that off and on over the course of the day, and like you had said, he would just kind of go through what his new life is to see, like, oh, I should be at Ridge Club, or whatever, should I be at work, what, like, to what level. I assume not work, since we're going to be with them, and that would be an inconvenience for everybody. But yeah, he would just kind of look to see, like, what things he should be doing.
You've been given people whose data wakes have been wiped. There's no particular activity that you're expected to be engaged in. A little later in the day, there's another news story that comes out that says they update the background of Benjamin Fitch. They mention that he's ex-military, and that given his field expertise, the police have widened their search. They assume he may be hiding out in the wilderlands around Sacramento.
So he's like, fuck. Either they're looking for Fitch closer to where we are, or they're looking for us and they know we bolted.
Or maybe I'm way off here, but what if Fitch is alive and they're actually really looking for him, and he's trying to find you?
What's what I'm saying? It could be. I mean, it says they're expanding the search, but I mean, I kind of feel like we need to work under the assumption that Fitch is he's gone.
Right. I don't think he factored into our new situation at all anyway, until for some reason we're in the crossfires of all of this. It's not our problem right now. We have to just stay the course. We'll hear from Bento, and we'll just lay extra low now and keep watching these reports.
Yeah, but I mean, isn't it? I mean, Fitch got involved with this because of me, because of my relationship with Suzie. I mean, it's easy to say. I mean, he was my friend.
Oh no, I get it, but is it worth throwing it away at this point?
No.
I mean, it could also be a complete trap.
Yeah, no, he he rubs his head, he drops down in the chair.
All right, just sit, have your coffee, just sit, and just try not to just take a deep breath, relax.
You have anything I could spike this coffee with?
I think you went out and got some whiskey last night before you passed out.
Right.
Oh yeah,
I did get some whiskey, but yeah. So Reggie's eyes go wide for a second, he reaches into his pocket and pulls out the thing of Zoom, and then, oh, no, puts it back. And then, whiskey you're talking about. Yeah, it is a bottle of whiskey. I thought you meant, no, never mind.
He doesn't, like, he's in his own head at the moment, so he didn't catch any of that. So he takes the bottle from you, cracks
the Zoom? Oh, no, whiskey. You want whiskey. Got it.
And he dumps more than a shot's worth in the cold coffee, the now cold coffee.
Goes to shit. Okay. Yes, no, you do that. You take the lion's share. And Reggie will sit down and just kind of like wait and just watch his friend and start sipping whatever whiskey's left.
Oh, I mean, if it's a full bottle, like he probably had about a third of a cup of cold coffee left, so he just topped it up.
It's overflowing onto the table.
And
that's eventually just going to be all whiskey if you keep doing that, Nash.
So you're feeling a little bit looser. The last thing you want is Nash on Zoom right now. But you're a little bit relaxed now. There are no more major updates on the Benjamin Fitch case over the course of the day. We roll into the afternoon and then into the evening. Feel free to jump in here at any moment with anything you want to do.
Reggie has fallen asleep on the chair.
I think Nash is just, if Reggie's asleep, he kind of winds up getting into his own head. I mean, he doesn't like hammer the bottle, but the first coffee and whiskey kind of like settles him down a little bit, but then it also makes him a little bit more introspective. So he just kind of kind of goons out a little bit. Like Reggie's sleeping and he's not sleeping, but he's not like really into whatever's happening. You know what I mean? Like he's just.
Now I know that Nash has a history with alcohol. Have you been on the wagon for a while and now you just fell off?
Yes. After the attempted suicide, I have to imagine he probably went cold turkey. Right, like I think that would be the thing. So yeah, so this would be like a couple of months after that incident, I guess.
All right, so I want you to give me a psyche roll. Roll as many dice as your psyche. Tell me the highest number.
I hope that we didn't discuss this in the past because I don't think Reggie knew that about you.
My high is a 2.
Oh.
Why does everyone get addicted to shit around me?
You're you're codependent.
You end up polishing off that bottle, and by the time Reggie wakes up, it's after dark, and you're thinking hard about going out and buying another bottle. You're kind of toasted right now.
Yeah. So like the bottle's tipped over. There's whiskey on the table. His coffee mug is like turned over because it's empty. Like he's to the point of almost angry drunk.
Yeah.
Fucking goddamn bottle can't go out. It's fucking
what
Fitch.
Reggie. What the holy hell is going on in here? What have you done?
What do you mean? Fucking whiskey's fine.
Oh my
God.
Reggie goes over. What the? This are you this much? What's happened?
What do you mean? What's happening? I just fucking sit here. We can't have nothing to do. Can't fucking go anywhere. Fucking Susie's gone. Fitch is gone. Fucking, you're probably gonna go and be behind my stuff. Cat, don't take my Reggie. Don't take my cat, Reggie.
Slap!
Fuck! Stop!
You're right.
Fuck.
You're right. Toasted.
He throws a haymaker at you.
Blocks it easily. Puts you in like a very nice, comfortable hold. All right, just relax. Put your hand on your chest, and I push it down to the bed. You're gonna lay down now, okay? You stop thrashing. Stop thrashing.
Fuck you. Fuck all this shit.
Jesus Christ! What? Can I do some sort of a roll to see if like this is because he seems. I mean, it was like a partial bottle of whiskey. Would I be able to discern if maybe or not I helped him get back into an issue?
I assume if you bought it last night, it was a full bottle. So like if you had,
Well, I think I would have cracked it.
You probably cracked it, but then you were also really tired and you both fell asleep really quick. So I think it was mostly a full bottle.
Okay, so I guess he would be pretty.
I mean, even if you had some, right? Like if you were drinking out of a rocks glass while I was chugging my coffee.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. My frame of reference. I don't usually drink that myself, so. All right, I gotcha. Yes. All right, so never mind. I don't know anything about this. You lay down here, and you need to sleep this off. Jesus Christ! And Reggie starts going around and
sleep anything, and fucking fine. Doesn't matter. Just go get some more fucking. Give me some beers or some shit.
Yeah, all right. I'll go get you some beers. Yeah, I'll get you beers. All right. Okay.
Yes, that's right.
I'll get you some beers. You just stay. You stay in bed. Stay in bed. And I'll go get you some.
Fine.
I'm not getting him any fucking motherfucker just getting all shit faced. You're right, tossed, mate. This is ridiculous.
What?
I'm
like
just
fall asleep.
I'm cleaning up your mess. It's all right.
This is a mess. It's a
go to sleep. Go to sleep. Go to sleep.
This is shit fucking bullshit.
Dream of all good times with Suzie.
Fuck up. I'm gonna go sleep. You fucking run.
We're gonna
let's fucking go to sleep. Just shut the fuck up.
And put her to bed right next to you.
Like he puts his fingers in his ears like a 5-year-old.
And Reggie gets cleaning up the room, cleaning the messes up.
Right. Yeah, the room is quite a bit of a mess because Nash's dexterity has been affected. And so he's going to like knock things over, and he knocked the table over when he tried to take a swing at you. The room is a bit of a mess right now.
Do I pass out?
Well, what kind of drunk are you? I mean, I'm thinking that if you have guilt issues dealing with the failed mission going all the way back to when you were enlisted, and now you've got a compounded guilt issue over Susie's disappearance, now Fitch's disappearance, and let's not forget Chip. I think you're probably in a fucking emotionally morose state and feel personally responsible for all of these, which you view as failures.
Yeah, my fault.
I don't even know if you can sleep right now.
That's completely fair. So he pushes on bed. He like turns around and starts cleaning.
Probably an emotional wreck. That's what I'm thinking, because you've got two life shapers that are overlapping here, and then on top of that, Chip and Fitch have been added to the pile.
Mm-hmm. So as Reggie turns to go and start cleaning, he's like curled up fetally and just like sobbing.
In fact, you might feel like doing a character development scene. Just throwing it out there.
So how do we go about that? Like, what's the?
Well, it's an opportunity for us to either get a look into the background of character, like you could do a flashback, or go deep inside your head and you tell us how you feel by giving, maybe you're having nightmares or visions or some sort of symbology going on in your head. You can even use it to justify spending character points to give us insight into some skill or ability that we didn't know until now that you have.
Yeah. Probably pass on the last one. I mean, we.
And I don't want to twist your arm either. Maybe later in the episode you want to do a care dev scene.
No, I mean, one about what went back when you were enlisted. Have you done one about that yet?
I only have a vague idea of how that actually played out. We've never actually worked out the specific details. I mean, we could kind of try to do that right now. I'm cool with that too.
I'm interested.
That would be like a flashback. That would be all up to you, buddy.
Okay. So he's shoulders, shuddering and sobbing, and the screen kind of like fades to black, and it opens up on some dream world mission, some lush vegetation, and he's walking through the jungle with his small unit. He's looking around like, you get the sense of tensions being high, and they're moving in, to go to discuss, terms or whatever with this indigenous group, which is weird because it's a dangerous. It wasn't a dream world. It was just another world. And they were there to like make contact and like pacify and do whatever. So, his idea was that they were there to sort of protect and set up a thing where they can, either do trade or however the higher ups saw this happening. And, this was his, he's on a mission. So he's, trying to protect everybody and whatever. And they go in and they meet this, more, I don't want to say primitive because it seems racist, but lower technology group of, indigenous peoples. And, he steps up as the lieutenant and, kind of giving the spiel, like, we're here, we want to work with you, blah, blah, whatever. Maybe they have some kind of like translator or whatever. And things just begin to go wrong where there's just, the troops start firing. Like there was things going on that he was unaware of. So as they start firing, then their small group gets beset and, they start falling. So he, was completely taken aback. Like he had no idea that there was some ulterior motive to what was happening. And, he finds out later that, they sent them in because they wanted to rape this little pocket dimension of whatever resources were there. Think like, Columbus, sailing to the New World kind of thing where they, it wasn't a ploy so much to send them there, but, they weren't going to make friends or make peace or set up any sort of an alliance. They were, the ulterior mission was, we're going to wipe these people out and take all of this. So he, the guys start falling around him and, he's like, what the fuck? No, like fall back. And, the sergeant's just like wholesale slaughtering, villagers and whatever. So he runs back, the pilot is still at the ship. And, he comes back and the guy's like, what's going on? Where's the rest of the crew? And he's like, they're killing everyone. What the fuck is going on? I don't know. I thought we were here to set up, make some sort of an alliance or whatever. And he's like, I don't know. I fly the plane. I fly the ship. He's like, no, get on the fucking ship. We got to get out of here.
Okay, let me ask you a pointed question here because you mentioned in your life shaper that you feel guilt. So I'm trying to get at that guilt. What is it that you feel you should have done differently that made this all your fault?
He didn't know. So he didn't, he blames himself that he didn't know and that he wasn't able to then protect his guys. Like, even though they started this, like they were the impetus behind it, the orders came from higher up and he was, out of the loop. And then once things started, not only was he unable to save them or stop them, he fucking bailed. He left with the pilot. They jumped back. And when they got back, higher ups were like, you did a great job. Acceptable losses. We're going in. You accomplished your mission, and he gets the promotion, which makes him even more guilty. Because not only did he want no parts of what happened, his guys died. And then they gave him a fucking promotion and a medal. So then his parents were proud because his father was military. So like, oh, I guess he wasn't lieutenant at the time, right? Because that was the promotion to make him a lieutenant.
Okay.
Yeah. So there's just all kind of layers of guilt kind of tied up in everything, the way that it played out. And, his father being like a career military guys, telling all his friends and telling all his military buddies, my son, lieutenant, he did a great job, got a promotion, blah, blah, blah. That's when the nightmare started. That's when the drinking started. That's when the dishonorable discharge happened.
Wow. That's good. Okay. So Reggie, Brandon,
yes.
You're trying to make him go to sleep, and he's groggy and he keeps trying to sleep, but he can't, and he's having nightmares and he keeps talking out loud. You put together this whole story. He's talking out loud while he's thrashing on the bed in an inebriated state. So the full weight of his guilt comes out of his mouth, and you hear the whole story for the first time.
Reggie would stop what he was doing and just stare and listen for a few moments, and then when the full weight of what Nash was saying sort of hit him, and I see what is going on inside of his head, probably for the first time as it's being laid bare like that, Reggie would go over and just kind of lay down next to him and just sort of try to comfort him as best he can.
Mm-hmm.
I think he would, instinctually, Reggie would just sort of do that while he was listening to what Nash was saying.
Yeah, because literally nobody knows. I mean, he might have. I don't know if he even would have told Martez that. Like, that's like a deep-rooted, like, I don't know that would have come out. Because he saw her after more to discuss events that had happened.
Yeah.
On the jump to Susie's Dream World the first time. So I don't think you're the only one on the planet that knows, aside from the higher ups and the pilot, maybe.
Yeah, so Reggie would basically I'd probably just be sitting on the bed next to you, just kind of, maybe he'd be like, rubbing your back a little bit, just to sort of, whatever. I would try anything just to kind of soothe, or Reggie would try anything just to sort of soothe Nash in any way. It's like, all right, I hear you.
Do you have any psychology skills?
Absolutely not. No.
Go ahead and give me a psyche roll.
I mean, slip dynamics, lucid dreaming.
Not really.
That's the coolest. Fighting. Okay. A psyche roll.
Yeah, roll as many dice as your psyche. Tell me the highest number.
Psyche is my stat, yo.
That's true. You got 4 of them.
5.
All right. It is not easy, but you do manage to calm him down. He comes back to the present day. His breathing becomes regular again. And just then, your PDA buzzes.
Well, mine does.
Yeah, yours does.
Oh, shit. I'll check the PDA.
It's Dr. Lee from Diaspora.
Huh? Oh, it's Reggie. Nash. Oh, never mind. Okay. All right, and I'll read it. Oh, is it a call or like a text?
It's a text.
All right, I'll read it.
He says that Bento gave him this node, and he thought you would want to know that your friend Ship is in stable condition. We think he's past the worst of the detox, but there's some lasting psychological issues that they've uncovered, and they don't feel that he's safe to be released. They're moving him to a place called Coral Gardens, which is a psych hospital in Santa Cruz.
Coral Gardens, you said?
Yep.
Okay.
And he gives you the node address so that you can contact them. I just thought you'd want to know.
Reggie just sends back, thank you.
I think when the phone rings, because you're getting up and moving away from me, the cat's kind of like tooling around. You pick him up and you kind of like,
oh, right, yeah,
put him in front of me.
Yeah.
And then he just like immediately like wraps the cat up and is like crying.
Oh, easy. Okay. All right. Yeah. All right. Okay. Reggie wouldn't say anything to Nash about the text yet. Not in his state.
Okay. A couple hours more go by. It's now like 9 p.m. In fact, you guys are probably getting hungry. You haven't given any more alcohol, even though he was asking for it. But you calm him down. You keep him on the wagon. And at about a little after 9 p.m., maybe you have room service come again because you guys are getting him. Get some food into him. Get some coffee into him. He's still a little bit wobbly, but he's not thrashing and he's not flashing back anymore. You've got him through the worst of it. A message comes through on both of your PDAs from Bento, and it is simply an address in downtown Sacramento, and a time 9:30. You guys have about 20 minutes to get down there.
Jesus, what sort of state is Reggie in? I mean, Nash.
Not good.
Stefan, he's not in a real good way. He's a little bit wobbly still. His eyes are all puffy and red from crying.
Luckily, I have experience moving someone who is out of sorts. Well, this is easy. I've got this. All right, Nash. Nash, let me take a look at you. We got cold. Bento.
He's over in the chair, forearms on his knees. He's got the phone in his palm.
Coffee.
Food. I mean, I guess. Fucking. Now?
Bento. 20 minutes.
Oh, fuck. How long is it going to take?
Downtown Sacramento.
Yeah, it'll only take like 10 minutes to get there, so you guys can call a car and get some food and coffee in you. In fact, you might even have enough time to jump in the shower real quick.
Reggie throws Nash into the shower and turns it on.
So, like, you yank me up, take the phone out of my hand, and, like, just push me at the bathroom.
This is going to work. Trust me. Just shock cold.
So he get like he's in. I guess he's in his clothes, right?
No, I would strip you down.
All right, so he kind of like he fights you because he knows you're like a fucking weird dude. Like, what the fuck are you doing?
No. You're not my type. I appreciate the effort, but you're not my type. So just take these knickers off.
All right, come
get in there.
Oh shit! Fuck! God,
this is great,
bitch.
You feel better now, though. Yeah, welcome back. Oh Jesus, you lost your ears then.
Turn it off. Jesus Christ.
All right.
Give me a heart attack. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah, get that blood pumping,
Oh, man, that fucking headache. Son of a bitch.
Reggie grabs your head and forces open your eyes, takes a peek at your eyes. No, I gotta check it. I gotta look. Okay, all right. I mean, you're still pretty wrecked, but you're a little bit more functioning. So we're gonna get some more coffee and we're going to get some more food, and then you're going to be great. We're going to go. We're going to go now.
When you say coffee, he does like a stomach starts to roll like he's going to heave because he had whiskey in the coffee. He's like,
Maybe not coffee.
Give me some water. Fucking
water.
Let me get dressed. Get the fuck out of the bathroom.
Fine. I haven't seen before. He closes the door.
So he like takes a moment to try to like collect himself. He turns the water off and towels off, kind of like very slowly because his head is fucking pounding.
Reggie, I imagine you're calling for a car.
Yes, I am.
Yeah, your driver will be here in 10 minutes.
Okay, all right, yep. That's fine, right? That's just like an Uber type situation or Lyft, right?
Yeah, it's a kind of situation.
All right. Done.
All right. So he's out of the shower. He's dressed again. He still looks not so great, but at least his eyes are wide open. And here comes your car to take you to your meeting. It turns out to be a diner. You guys have just eaten, so you're not real hungry, but There is a table back there, and Bento is sitting at it. And he's got a guy you recognize. It's Agent Rogers, who was your lead car last night, who drove you to Diaspora Ranch.
Oh. Oh. Nice to see you again.
Not this so loud.
All right, just okay. Don't show your hands so soon. Jesus.
Yeah, Bento looks at Nash, and then he looks at Reggie, raises one eyebrow.
Act like you've been here.
I've never been. I don't fucking come to Sacramento. Just shh.
Just like any other movie. You're embarrassing me.
Mr. Takak, Mr. Nishim, good of you to join us.
All right.
My friend here, Mr. Rogers, has some information that he'd like to share with you. Rogers nods at both of you. He says, I've been doing a little research. I've been filled in on the background of your situation. The girl, Miss Suzie Nash.
His eye, like he's awake.
We have some eyewitnesses who we assume can be trusted from her apartment complex. We saw her leave several days ago with a couple men in business suits. We've traced the license plate of the vehicle. It's a car that was registered to Somnambula Inc. Security Division. We have no reason to believe that she's come to any harm, I want to assure you. And yet it does seem that she is in their custody. You also may be aware that your associate, Mr. Nash, is on the run. We've not been able to locate him. Apparently he lost his PDA or smashed it somewhere along the line. As far as we can tell from our contacts in the Sacramento PD, the stories are true. We assume Mr. Fitch is alive and hiding out somewhere in the hills around Sacramento.
So he like, just like lets out a breath and kind of sags back into the chair. He's like, oh man, at least he's safe. Shit.
That's I guess a little bit of good news.
They have her. Okay, all right. Well, we kind of knew that. That's what we figured. All right. So like he slaps the table. He's like, "What's the plan? What are we gonna do?"
This seems like a high-level target, gentlemen.
Rogers looks at Bento. Bento takes over the conversation. We have nothing here that would enable us to go in with or without the authorities. There's not a shred of evidence that we could use without calling a lot of attention to the slip and the history of you gentlemen, which would only pull in the fugitive Benjamin Fitch. That's a route we would prefer not to take. I've come up with another plan. It's not the best option, but it is an option. I'm going to lay it on the table. We can set you guys up with press badges, send you into Somnambula headquarters as reporters doing a story on the company. While inside there, perhaps you could find a way to break away and search the facilities. We can have men outside stationed and on the ready for your call. And I would expect you to move very slowly and graciously. We don't want to go in there with guns blazing. Again, we have no legal reason to do so. But it wouldn't be hard to get you inside with forged press credentials. What do you think?
My first thought was facial recognition.
I think they know who I am. Wouldn't they just pluck me up when we walked in the front door?
Either that, and the other thing is, you're so quick to dismiss the importance of having someone like Fitch around who's, for all we know, and right now been up close and personal with this operation. He was able to get away. He's got to have some information.
We'll do our best to locate Mr. Fitch, but of course we're trying to do so without calling attention to our own dragnet, since the PD is already out there. So you can leave that to us. When it comes to any internal information from Somnambula headquarters, I can't just go walking in there. Now, I understand that they might recognize Nash, and this is a valuable point. But from what I remember, they have no reason to suspect Mr. Carlisle.
No, I mean, he's off the grid. But I think you'd be hard pressed to get me. Yeah, I mean, we could get in the front door, but
how are we going to get you in? Well, I don't think you'll get in that building, or at least they'll let you in and just let you entrap ourselves. Although that might be the chance we need if we know they're going to do something like that, or we assume. Well, that's our in.
Add a character. Are there personal, like holographic, like this? Like, so I'm thinking disguise, right? So like, if there's like a person, like, so as far as the tech in the world, if I could have a hologram or whatever that is over my face so that they can't pick me up on the facial, but I don't know if that's a thing that exists, right? So
that is a thing that exists. Holographic jewelry and augmented reality are very common. Lots of people have augmented reality goggles. Some people even have augmented reality contact lenses or cybernetic implants.
I have a Stealth Pro kit. That's got to be in there.
Yeah, that would enable you. That would enable you to change his facial configuration so that it might be able to make it past a recognition scanner. You don't want to do anything extreme because he walks in there looking like, Aladdin Sane. So you're going to wonder what the hell.
Well, like eyes a little wider, maybe, face a little bit more, square or a little bit more round, depending on what is.
All right. I think I'm seeing you. Maybe
and you could also put on some augmented reality jewelry or a projection over yourself. Lots of people walk around looking like, something out of Shadowrun. But that doesn't necessarily fool the scanner because the scanner will look through that.
Sure.
Or in a high security zone, they force you to turn it off.
I mean, I would imagine they probably wouldn't be taking us in any secure zone, so that if we were going to, once we breach, kind of meander away, that at that point it wouldn't matter, I guess, because if the scanner picks us up somewhere where we shouldn't be.
Unless one of us does it, and the other one stays on the con, and we sort of kind of keep them distracted that way while another person goes and tries to get the information.
That's more along the lines of what I was thinking. Tomorrow morning, there's a press junket heading into Somnambula Inc. They're meeting in the Somnambula Theater for a demonstration of their latest update to the Dream Deck. We could get you guys into that press junket where you would pose as reporters. And in theory, one of you could break away from the group while inside the building.
I mean, I think if...
Well, actually, if it's a larger group of reporters, then maybe we both could. But I was misunderstanding. I was thinking it was just the two of us. But if it's a whole group of reporters, it's a lot easier.
Yeah, I mean, if you think this is the best way for us to get in,
it's the most expedient way. The timing just happens to be right. They have a new product announcement coming out tomorrow.
Well, if you need us in there, this is the chance we should take.
Do you have any intelligence as to where they may be keeping her? Or is she being kept on site, I'm assuming? Do you have any idea?
We can only assume that. We have no intelligence actually leading back to the headquarters. That is an assumption on our part, since she was taken by Somnambula personnel.
Right. Okay. I mean, I guess that makes sense. Fuck, she's going to be protected. It's going to be hard. And I mean, she could be drugged at this point. I mean, she may not, even if we can find her, she may not want to go. I mean, we don't know what her state is. I mean, she was, I mean, she was in and out the last time I saw her, but that's been, over a week now. God knows what kind of state she's in.
Let me give you our best intel. And he pulls up his phone and flips through it. He finds a photo that was taken from a security camera on the outside of her complex. Do you recognize any of these individuals? There's 2 men in suits who you don't recognize, and there's a woman. Goddamn if it ain't Dr. Martez.
He snatches the phone out of his hand, and he's like, he starts pointing at the picture. That fucking bitch. I told Fitch, son of a bitch. Or maybe he told me, I can't fucking remember, but she's in on it. And he like slams his hand down on the table.
Careful, that's an expensive device.
All right, Nash. Okay.
Pinto takes his phone back quickly.
He looks around, makes, it's probably like a couple people looking like that, that dick in the fucking diner that's making all the noise.
Yeah.
Turns back around. He's like, fuck, she's in on it. God, son of a bitch, she's in on it. That's who I saw when we came back from the first mission. She was my fucking shrink.
Oh, damn.
All right, well, we have to assume that she can identify you, even if no one else inside the building can.
Son of a bitch.
That's a caution for sure. You say that this psychologist was also your girlfriend's professor?
Yeah, that was the Psych 101 teacher. She switched majors. I think she thought she could fix me.
And she's the one who provided the dream deck to Ms. Garp.
Yes. Somnambula provided them, I guess, to her, and then from her to all of the students. Although Suzie was the only one that appeared to be affected.
If you succeed in locating Ms. Garp, this might perhaps give us a legal angle, and by us I mean you. Because what we have here is a potential kidnap.
Is it sufficient enough for us to be able to find her when we get in to bring you guys in, or would we also have to get her out?
I would say that depends on the situation on the ground.
Fair.
Well, I think if we could get her out, we'd take the chance for sure.
Yeah, no, definitely. We have to get her away from them, but ultimately we don't know what they've done. I mean, was her deck tampered with? Was this just a random occurrence? Can she be returned to her normal self? I mean, we don't have any idea of what's actually happening.
That's why I advise moving slowly, as cautiously as possible. I would not consider this, let's call it first mission, to be an extraction. I would expect a little bit of recon before we made our next tactical move.
It'll be just like the old days.
If you guys can get inside there, find out where she's held or where she might be held, get the lay of the land, and then get back out safely, perhaps we'd have enough information to pursue either a legal avenue or an extraction mission.
Yeah, you're probably right. You're probably right.
Sounds solid.
I mean, I guess that's what we have to do. It's not like we can assault the place. I mean, we'd thought about it before, but with just Fitch and Chip and I, it didn't seem like the best plan. So,
well, we can send you in with Agent Rogers here. He's well experienced. I trust him with my life. Rogers nods curtly. Thank you, sir.
He looks at Reggie because his internal monologue is, I don't trust this motherfucker as far as I can throw him. Like Rogers goes to watch us more than Rogers goes to help us. Like that's
well, he can watch us work. We're gonna be working in there.
Yeah, you're gonna be working with this man.
If he's a babysitter, that's fine. We're doing a job. It's like the old days. We're doing a job. There's been they send out. Oh, actually, we wouldn't be saying this out loud, would we?
Well, you know what? In a way, Rogers has already babysat you guys once because when you called Bento last night, Rogers was the guy Bento sent out to pick you up. Mm-hmm. So there's some degree of trust there already.
Right.
There's just something about this Mr. Rogers.
Tom.
I trust him.
You can call me Tom.
I think I'll keep calling you Mr. Rogers.
You've noticed, by the way, that Bento refers to him as Agent Rogers.
Okay, Agent Rogers.
Reggie, if you're good with it, I'm good with it.
It's this is just like I've said a number of times. It feels just like the old days. This is going to be good. Now, if I could just ask all of you one question, and I want your honest opinion, but I'd like to introduce you to
my little friend,
Brandon Nashim. Now, does that voice work for you? Do you think I'm pulling it off? Brandon Nashim, reporter for the local paper. How does that sound? Should I just stick with the?
I think you can. I think you can stick with your normal voice if it makes you more comfortable. But let's not say local paper. Rogers, have you got the info packet? Rogers pulls up his phone.
Yes.
Pushes some data over to you. It now appears on your phone. These are press badges. You guys are both representing New Vistas magazine.
Oh. I worked really hard on that accent. I sort of just poo-pooed it away. New Vistas, I guess it's called. New Vistas magazine.
That's right. Stefan DeKok and Brandon Nashim, you both have credentials for New Vistas magazine. Credentials includes sort of not really high resolution images of your own faces.
Okay.
I guess it makes sense that I wouldn't have to use a different voice. It's not like they've heard my voice before, so I guess I could.
There's also a link to the internet node. New Vistas magazine deals with dream worlds, psychotherapy, and medical technology that promises to open up new vistas of neurological research.
I guess the risk is lower if I'm using my own voice, so I suppose I could.
Reggie, it's fine. Don't worry about it.
I'm not worried about it. It's fine.
Have our new identities been updated to include employment at New Vistas? I don't know how. I assume they'll check everyone who's coming in.
Check your records.
Pulls out his phone, scrolls up through.
As soon as you do it, he makes a sliding gesture toward each of your phones, and you literally see your backgrounds update before your eyes.
Whoa.
It's a good trick.
We have tools of the trade, gentlemen. I think you'll enjoy working for DarkMatter.
I think I'm liking it already. Who put this? This is saying that Brandon Nashim, I own 6 cats. Who put that in there?
That was actually already there. We decided to keep some of the original data. It's easier than writing.
Oh, man, I wonder what happened to those cats.
I don't think you need to worry about the cats, sir.
You're probably right.
All right. Well, I guess we'll get cleaned up, and you have a car you can provide for us. I don't know how safe Reggie's car is going to be, or do you want us to take public transportation out to Somnambula?
There is a location not too far from Somnambula headquarters. Let's see. That is located in Santa Rosa. You, accompanied by Agent Rogers here, also representing New Vistas magazine. And Rogers will be posing as your editor. No, actually, I'm going to change that. Rogers will be posing as your photographer. And the three of you will meet with the press junket there, where you'll get on a tour bus and together with the group drive up the hill to Somnambula headquarters.
Okay.
What is Agent Rogers' name?
Harley Corliss.
Harley Corliss. Wonderful.
Rogers tries out a new accent. I'm Harley Corliss. Pleased to meet you.
You know what?
Can I pull that off?
Think I like that. I think you should keep doing it. And Reggie just stares everyone at the table down. That's called support.
Acting.
Acting. All right.
Well, listen, gentlemen. This is Harley Corliss talking. This is Agent Rogers talking. He says, "I've been filled in on your background. I know that you guys have a bit of a reputation. I know that you sometimes go off the reservation. I'm excited to be working with you guys in the field. We will take care of this situation one way or another. I also want to assure you that I've got 4 of my best men who will be out in the surrounding area. Just in case we need backup, you can depend on us."
Nash just, he, like stares into his eyes, trying to judge, his true intention. Like, he's unsure because he knows that Bento is in this, for himself.
Reggie Reggie fell for that. He saw that as like permission.
Well, you're a crazy fucker. It's fine, whatever.
Do you okay? Any kind of skill that you have that you can throw at that?
I mean, I have psychology at +1.
There you go.
All right.
Yeah. So do a psyche roll. Add your psychology skill. Tell me the highest total.
Oh, I got a 7.
Boom.
Okay. You get 2 things. He definitely does seem to be sincerely excited about such an unusual mission. He definitely seems to be telling the truth when he says that he's excited about doing such an off-the-reservation mission with you guys. You get the opinion that maybe he spends a lot of time doing paperwork or kind of standard security jobs. So he's excited about this. But you know what? You also notice a little bit of a facial tick. One eye twitches just a little bit. He's holding something back.
Aren't we all?
Okay. So he holds his gaze for like a minute. Like he doesn't say anything. And then he's just like, he nods slowly.
And Rogers, by the way, holds your gaze.
He says, I will hold you to that.
Classic staring contest.
I think you can tell he recognizes that you're trying to read him. And he goes ahead and he looks at you sternly the entire time and lets you.
Okay. I know something he doesn't know.
And yes.
Does he respond to my comment?
Your comment about...
I'm going to hold you to that.
He smiles.
He nods again. He lets it go for now.
All right. Well, then it's tomorrow morning. I'll pick you guys up at 8 o'clock a.m. at Anxious Arms?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I would recommend that you guys wear sort of casual professional business clothing. New Vistas is it's not a trade magazine. It's a magazine for the layperson that tries to explain medical technology and neurological issues in ways that are accessible to the layman. So you want to go in casual business attire. You might want to spend the rest of the evening, at shopping.
Oh,
pick out some clothes for yourself.
Are we going to be armed at all?
The two men look at each other, and yeah, we've got you covered. As a matter of fact, why don't you come out to the parking lot?
Ooh.
Nash gets up because he has no intentions of paying.
Okay.
He gets up and starts to walk towards the door.
I don't even have any money.
Bento runs his phone over the pay scanner. He handles the meal, and you guys go out to the parking lot where he's got this beautiful sedan. He opens up the trunk. Inside the trunk is a case. He opens up the case, and inside there are a few different kinds of weapons, as well as kinetic body armor, which will be worn under your street clothes. So you guys... So,
Reggie gets flustered.
So you guys will be wearing def suits, which is woven textile nanofibers that can fit underneath your street clothes. And this will give you a +1 armor defense mod. And he also points in the corner of the case. There's a smaller case. He opens that up, and there are 2 compression guns. And these are plastic, so they won't be scanned. They don't fire any bullets. They fire compressed air. They have a range of 30 feet. They're non-lethal. And also street legal, as a matter of fact.
Compression guns, you call them?
Yep.
These are they're just handguns, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So Nash snatches one, sticks it in the back in the small of his back, in his waistband. Is the armor more like almost like a foldable fabric suit, almost like a skin, or is it?
It's like a it has about the thickness of like long johns that skiers wear under their ski suits.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like a 1/16 of an inch thick. It doesn't fold as easily as cotton because it's got textile fibers interwoven into it. But you can take a shot from like a 22 at medium range, and it will repel that. It's a +1 defense mod.
Okay. I just, as far as transportation, I'm thinking like it just kind of like sticks under his arm, I guess, is like a little bundle.
Oh, he's got a couple satchels, so you guys can take the armor and the weapons, put them all in these satchels. Now you look like tourists.
Okay. How many uses do we get out of the compression gun? Is it a single fire weapon or?
Oh, no. You have to give it, it's about 3 seconds to recharge, but it's unlimited.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Handy.
Okay, so you guys have got your gear. If there's anything else you need me for, you can contact me or Rogers directly. Rogers flips his note ID over to you guys, so you have a one-click contact to him. Mm-hmm. And if there are no more questions, we'll see you at 8 a.m. tomorrow.
Yeah, I think we're good to go.
Good to go.
All right. They nod. Rogers shakes both of your hands. He gives you that stern look again. He really does seem excited. And then they take off.
I like this guy.
I'm going to take off and get some coffee. You guys can talk among yourselves for a minute.
All right.
Okay. So I see, like Nash would just kind of stand there and watch them drive away. So I don't know if you go to walk away or if you're just like queuing on,
No, I probably, I don't know, I'd be standing with you. I would notice, Reggie would notice that you're staring at them, watching them walk away. All right, what was that about? What are you thinking? You were staring them down. You were making pointed comments.
Look, Rogers seems like I think he really is excited. I don't think he gets out in the field very much, which concerns me by itself. But when he said that they were going to help and they were committed, he had a tell. He had a fucking twitch in his eye, and he's not giving us all of the truth. So I don't know. Well, I kind of want to beat it out of him, but we need them right now. And if he fucks us while we're in there, I will fucking kill him.
Here's the only thing I'll say. I think that it's smart to go in knowing that there is no way we should be trusting these people 100%. But I'm sure they don't trust us 100%. And I'm sure as hell not surprised that they'd be keeping stuff from us. So if he seems overexcited, and at least for now, we can probably just assume that he wants to be out in the field. But if shit goes bad, he's the first to go down.
He may not be the first, but he will definitely go down. I mean, I don't trust Bento as far as I can throw him, and I don't know what Roger's deal is. And as much as I want to find out, I don't want to find out while we're balls deep in, Somnambula's headquarters.
Well, it won't be the first time shit's gone wrong while we're behind enemy lines.
That's true.
We'll be able to improvise.
Yeah.
Don't you worry.
In a field of combat, we've got a lot more leeway. Things go wrong here. We're downtown, where we are not afforded the same sort of ability to improvise, as it were.
Well, I guess it's a question of how willing you are to improvise in any situation. I myself have no qualms.
There's a MacGyver over here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I guess
the fact that he said off the reservation, that's quite a bit more polite than loose cannon, which is the words usually used to describe you.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, I mean, I guess our old lives are burned, I guess, at least for now. So I guess we don't have anything to lose.
No, no doubt.
Okay, so now you got to find a place to stick Jasper. Let's get back to the Anxious Arms. Get Jasper a place. Find a pet hotel.
Mm-hmm. Is anything open at this time of the night? I assume
actually, yeah, pet hotels are 24 hours.
24-hour kennels. Yeah, right. Pet. Yeah, right.
Okay. I've never put my cat anywhere other than having somebody come and watch it, so I don't know. Yeah, so I get. So I think they would stop first and shop, right? So Nash has never dressed business casual ever. So like they go into the store and he just kind of like wanders around, like pulling different things off the rack, like
Yeah. Oh no! Is this one of those cuts? Is this one of those seats where we're coming out of the dressing room? Like, hey, what do you think?
Oh no, I can do even better than that because they have these big interactive mirrors where you choose a couple. You just poke your finger into air. There's like a holographic display, right? You choose a couple items and then you stand in front of the mirror and it shows you wearing whatever it is.
That's awesome. Oh yeah, Reggie's having some fun with that.
Yeah, Nash has no concept. Like he's got like jeans and sandals because it's casual. He's got like Hawaiian shirt. At one point, he's got like full tuxedo and top hat.
He's like, yes, sir.
All right,
you nailed it.
I think
we need to talk the lingo too. It's not business casual around these people. It's called biz cash. We have to say biz cash.
Oh, nice.
So as you say that, I imagine like some young girl kind of walks by, like she works at the store. She looks like, are you for real? She comes, you guys need help with anything?
We're shopping for biz cash.
It's like at this point, Nash has like.
She's like, well, let me show you some selections, and she pages through the menu and filters out a bunch of stuff. And she says, if you stay within this portion of the menu, you guys should be all right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for that. And he looks and he like shudders at some of the options.
Yeah.
And then finally settles on, I don't know, something nondescript. Lots of black and gray, dark blue, navy, whatever.
Yeah, Reggie found a nice he's got he's wearing like the dress shirt with the the blazer and no tie. He's got that look on and like khakis and like boat shoes. Or not boat shoes. What are those like? Boat shoes.
Canvas deck shoes.
Canvas deck shoes. Perfect. Yes. What do you think? This is good. I like it. I'll take it. Biz cash, baby.
All right. Okay, so our shopping is done. You guys look biz cash.
Ooh, biz cash AF.
We drop off Jasper.
Yep.
You're now. And the one thing you might want to do, although there's no difficulty, but I'm assuming when you get back to the Anxious Arms, you're going to try on the armor underneath your biz cash clothing. Get used to it. It's a little bit stiff, but you can get used to it.
Okay.
Ooh, I just got reminded of something. What happens? I'm sitting here with with my stats. Have our stats replenished yet? Or am I still at 1 grace and 1 might?
I mean, we didn't do much between last night and today.
I need my grace. I need my grace for this.
What are the wounded stats for you?
Well, my base grace is 3 and my current is a 1. And my base might is 2, and my current is a 1. From the battle of I think it was the rat battle. The rattle, if you will.
Okay, so that was like 3 days ago, and you haven't been involved in any serious action since then. So your grace has healed, but you're still neg 1 might.
Okay, that's good. I'll take it. My grace. Oh, I feel graceful again. Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, to get that point of might back, you actually you should. It'll take another week, and we can speed that up a little. We can speed that up a little bit if you get some medication, but otherwise, just relaxing for a week.
Okay, cool. I like if I got my grace back, I'm good, and I'll worry about my might later.
Reggie got his grace back. Movie right there.
I'm in my biz cash. I'm getting my grace back.
We're hoping that it doesn't come to anything too crazy while we're doing our recon.
Oh, I think you're just gonna have to go ahead and assume that shit's gonna go wrong.
Yeah. Well, Reggie's involved, so.
Well, I mean, if we see something, we're certainly going to do something.
Anything else you want to take care of before tomorrow morning comes around?
So I think going in, Nash would be more on point now. I mean, even when he drank, he didn't drink on mission. So now that we're in ready mode, I think he would be okay.
We're gonna have to talk about that. You said, you know what, this is what we can do. So Reggie would sort of pull you aside before any of this happens, and probably back in the room. So you said some things while you were proper tossed off the other night there.
What do you mean exactly? I mean, I know I kind of fell off the wagon a little bit. I just was in a not great place, but I'm good now. We're gonna go get Suzie, or we're gonna at least get information. You don't have to worry about me. I'm fine.
All right, you just used the term. You used off the wagon. Are you? Should I not have given you that whiskey?
I feel like I needed some time to work a few things out. Maybe stuff happened before that I don't really like to talk about at all, and it took me to some dark places, but things have been good. I've been fine. It's one of those things that happens, right? I mean, I was doing good, and then
right, but would it have happened? It wouldn't have happened. It wouldn't have happened if I hadn't been there with my whiskey. I had no idea.
It's never come up. I mean, I can't. I'm fine. Don't worry about me. I'm fine.
Look, I blame myself for Chip enough. I can't have this on me now. You've got to. You know more for you. We can't do that again. But I want you to know that you said a lot of things. You put a lot of things out there, and I heard all of them.
What do you mean? Like, what did I say?
You were talking about when you were enlisted.
And his face just kind of goes blank. Okay.
Now, I don't want to get too much into it, but
you don't want to trigger it either.
It's been on my mind since you went into your little episode, and I just needed to ask you point blank because I feel like I caused it, and I don't want to get into this mess again, like with Chip.
It's not you, it's me, Reggie. I think I'll be fine. I think I'll be fine.
But we're in this together now. So you should be able to lean on me in times like that without me or without tricking me into giving you something that's going to throw you overboard.
I don't want to keep you from doing things that you want to do. It's not your fault. It's my fault. Again, like he's just into everything is my fault.
Reggie slaps him.
Wow, fuck, what? God damn it.
It's not your fault. None of this is your fault.
All right. It's nobody's fault.
Get your head right, soldier. Get your head right.
All right, I'm fine. It's fine. Just don't worry about it.
I'm going to suggest a little ritual here to mark this occasion. Mm-hmm. This might be a thought that occurs to Reggie. There's that empty whiskey bottle. Smash it.
You want Reggie to do it, or what do you mean?
Well, I think it's symbolic. Look, you're going to stay on the wagon.
Oh, right. Oh, I want him to smash it. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I want you to take this bottle, okay? And I want you to smash it over my head. I mean, I just smash it on the ground.
What the hell is that gonna do?
It's going to be a ritual for you. Okay, it's going to get your mind right. You're going to look at the bottle. This is the source of my pain, and this intensifies all of the things that make me crazy. And you're going to smash the bottle. Smash it.
He looks at the bottle. He looks at you. He's like, I mean, I guess that's not the strangest thing I've ever heard. I mean,
no, don't half-ass it. You've got to go into it with conviction and purpose and strength. Put all of your anger, your malice into your throw. Let it guide your hand.
All right, let's go. Let's go out behind the building. We'll go smash the bottle.
All right. Now that we're out behind the building, I want you to put yourself in that headspace for just a moment and have that be the last thing you think about, and then release all of that tension into your powerful throw into the ground.
So they're standing out there in the dark. There's like a lone street light the cone of ugly yellow light that kind of like half lights up the back of the brick building, and the dumpster. There's fucking garbage on the outside, and he just is standing there, and he looks down at the bottle, empty bottle.
Nothing's going to happen.
Just kind of stares at it.
You're safe.
Gets into his head, and he just, kind of thinks about all the things that have happened. The time that he spent, with the mission, because Reggie brought it up. So it's kind of like at the surface, and, the stuff with, that he talked to Martez, and, the things that have all sort of led up to this, and his face kind of gets red, and he just takes the bottle, and he just fucking heaves back, and he throws. He's like, "I don't need you."
Nice. There's a very satisfying smashing sound.
And he looks over to Reggie. There's just like a single tear.
Reggie
rolling down his cheek.
Slowly brings his hand up, and he uses his thumb, and he wipes the tear away. You did good.
Like at any other point, he would have like punched you like the fuck away from it. He just stands there and he takes it.
Reggie has a weird, uncomfortable tenderness sometimes.
I've noticed. I like that.
It seems. He wipes the tear. He wipes the tear away. You did good.
He kind of stands there for a minute, and he just like kind of throws an arm around your shoulder, and he's like, "Let's get the fuck out of here.
Let's just do this. Let's just do it." And he pulls him in for a big old bro hug. We're gonna do it. It's happening now. Come on.
Cool. And I think we fade to black with you guys hugging in the alley amidst the broken glass and the used condoms.
And then as it gets dark, you see like Nash try to pull away, but Reggie pulls him closer. And then, all right, that's enough.
Exactly.
The next morning, I'm going to imagine that you set a wake-up call.
5 a.m.
Oh, 5 a.m.?
Well, no. Just
okay.
Well, we have to be there at what time?
Rogers is going to be here to pick you up at 8.
All right. Yeah.
You'll be joining up with the press junket at 9 at the meeting place, and then up to the tour, which begins at 9:30.
I think maybe like 6:30, because Nash would want to get up and like fully prepare. So he shaves. He has the armor laid out. He's got the clothes laid out. He wants to make sure he's got a good breakfast. He wants to be, make sure he's clear-headed. So he's like an hour and a half for sure to mentally prepare himself.
Okay, nice. Yeah. So you call room service for breakfast in the morning. You make sure that you're well fed, shaved, showered, clean. You put on the armor. You put on your biz cash suits. You check each other
Dapper. Out. Dapper as fuck.
Yeah, you can kind of get used to this. It's comfortable.
Yeah.
At 8 o'clock, there's a buzz at your door.
Looks. Nope, I can do it. All right. It looks like he's here.
So I guess you open up the door and you kind of like have a shit-eating grin, and I'm like, he looks up, like he's in now, like he's in the zone now. He's like, "Welcome to the neighborhood."
God damn it!
Oh yeah, and you know what? David Rogers doesn't skip a beat. He's like, "Stefan," clasps your hand firmly, both hands, shakes it. "Stefan." All right, it's good to be working with you guys on this assignment. We're going to find out all of the interesting details that Somnambula Inc. has for us. And he's wearing BizCash himself. He's got a gray turtleneck sweater and some nice slacks and loafers on, and a big old camera around his neck.
Your BizCash is tight. And
he's wearing glasses, which makes him look totally different.
Damn. You look wonderful.
Do I also have Reggie's disguise apparatus, or what did we actually do?
Well, it's probably like all cosmetic, right? Because you said that it would be, if we used anything that was holographic, it'd be picked up upon. So
you could actually apply a little bit of plastic to change the shape of his nose, and then it'll make up over it. Stuff like that. You could, if you wanted to, like even, dye his eyebrows a different color.
Reggie does Nash's makeup after breakfast.
Okay, so Nash has now got blonde eyebrows, and the shape of his nose is much wider. And if you don't look too close, he totally looks like a different person.
My mother always told me I should have been a makeup artist.
And like he's cleanly shaven, like he normally has at least like a 5 o'clock shadow like all the time because he just never gave a shit. So it probably helps a little bit.
Reggie's beard is trimmed. He what is it called? Manscaped it. Is that it?
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
He's manscaped it, but he's still bald. It's the bald manscaped beard.
Right on. You guys are looking good. Let's go do this.
All right. Have you brought the trolley around? I mean, the car. Is the car around?
Right out here.
Wonderful.
Something wrong?
Nope, fine.
Are you holding in a fart? What is that?
I'm good. Holding it.
Well, this is what you have to look forward to, Rogers.
I'm just so excited to be doing this.
Okay, from here on out, you can call me Harley or you can call me Corliss.
Yes.
All right. Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
All right, let's go.
Nash gives a look to Reggie as they exit behind Agent Rogers.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of look?
He looks at him.
Just as like I don't want to say like a complete look of concern, but his lingering doubts as to Rogers, what Rogers has going on. Like he's debating on whether or not when they're in the car, this is a conversation that's had. Like, I know you're not, giving us the whole thing. So what is it that you need to tell us? Like he doesn't want to break it before it starts, but he also doesn't want to be fucked over.
So he looks at you and smiles, and his smile is like, "What?"
No, I looked at Reggie, not at Harley.
Well, yeah, Reggie would sort of cock his head like, "Well, what's up?"
He shake like you kind of like see that like just sweep over his face, and then you say what's up, and he just shakes his head.
All right,
pulls the door closed.
I don't worry, we'll be fine.
All right. We get into the car. We take a short jaunt. It's about a half-hour ride over to Santa Rosa, where we meet outside a conference hall where there's a whole bunch of other press milling about, exchanging business cards, chit-chatting in the parking lot. And there's a hover bus, a tour bus, and they're all preparing to embark. So you get in. There's a tour director who's there. Tour director introduces herself as Bella. You can call me Bella. Let me just check your IDs, please. You show your IDs. She checks off both of your names. She checks off Harley Corliss's name. New Vistas Magazine. You guys have been getting a lot of attention lately. Nice to have you with us.
Well, thanks for having us. It's a fascinating work that you guys are doing out here.
She says, I'm sure that you'll learn a lot today, and your readers will definitely enjoy the articles that you guys come up with. And as you guys all get on the bus, she's standing at the front of the bus, and she starts giving everybody the introductory spiel about Somnambula Inc. Makers of the popular Dream Deck, Somnambula is a consumer neuropath startup founded by clinical psychologist and neural interface software engineer, Dr. Ingwe Cordoba. As you know, our slogan is, Dream It All Again. And today, you'll learn just how we accomplish that. Are there any questions? And some people put up their hands. She starts taking questions about Somnambula, Ingwe Cordoba, the history of the company, that sort of thing. And I'm sure that you guys have, you've got your pistols either in holster under your clothing or back shoved into your pants or whatever. So if you guys have any questions, now would be the time to ask them, or you can just lay low.
I don't think Reggie would have any questions right now. He's more concerned with getting inside and breaking off, getting his own answers.
Yeah, I mean, Nash would kind of just be like looking to see who else is on the bus.
There's about 15 people in this group, including you guys. Most of them are magazine reporters. There are a few people with head-mounted cameras, and there are a couple people with old-school tech, like your buddy Mr. Rogers is wearing.
Mm-hmm. So I mean, I guess he would ask to be like, it's okay to like take pictures. I mean, you have. Are we doing a presentation? Are we gonna get to see the facilities at all?
Very good question. We'll be taking you on a limited tour of the facilities. You'll get to see both the R&D floor as well as the manufacturing floor. And after that, I'll actually be handing you off at the beginning of the tour to the PR director, Clara Duvan. She'll be able to answer any specific questions you have regarding research, development, and manufacturing. When you finish the building tour, we'll then convene in the theater where you'll get to see some of the latest videos of both internal and external tests, the latest version of the Dream Deck. We'll be making sure that all of you have digital copies of this material to use in your own video output.
I have a question.
Yes.
How limited is this limited tour?
Well, of course, you understand that we can't take anyone into the laboratories where testing is performed on Dream Deck subjects, but we will show you the research and development floor, as well as the manufacturing floor. You see, at Somnambula, they're very, very proud of having honed the manufacturing process to a streamlined and efficient system, which can get the Dream Decks out by the hundreds of thousands per week.
I have another question.
Certainly.
Why does Somnambula feel that the human testing of these devices needs to be done privately and we can't see it?
I don't know how I can answer that question, sir, except to say that there is doctor-patient confidentiality and that all patients under testing at Somnambula have undergone thorough psychological screening and have signed non-disclosure agreements. Beyond that, I'm really not permitted to say. And to tell you the truth, I'm not sure I know the answer.
Nash just gives you a dirty look, like, what the fuck are you doing?
I'm a reporter.
Yeah, Bella gives you a look too. She's just figured out who the reporter is who's going to give her trouble.
I don't like that these guys are taking us on a limited tour.
You say that out loud?
It's a limited.
No. No. But I'm trying to get you. What are they hiding?
You don't want to arouse suspicion. Just everyone else has questions.
Everyone else is asking questions,
but not like that. That's not a.
Yeah, most of the questions it seems are like human interest. They're talking about Dr. Cordoba and his background and training and his favorite food, and we've heard that he's got an extravagant house in San Francisco. And can we get images of him with his dogs? He's got a collection.
This is killing John right now. This is what I hate about this. So I'm letting some of that bleed over into Reggie a little bit. I can't. This is ridiculous. We're supposed to play the part of reporters. We're supposed to report. I don't want to write a fluff piece.
But that's what this is. We're not writing anything. Just
when my article comes out, it's not going to be a fluff piece. It's going to be hard hitting.
We're not writing. Stop it. Stop it. God.
Oh, wow. He's deep into the role now. He's actually going to write an article.
It's going to be submitted anonymously.
He flicks his eyes over to Rogers to see how he's taking this in, to see how he's experiencing Reggie in the moment.
Well, I don't think I have to explain that to you. He's just he's glancing over at you, but he's not saying anything. He's smiling a little bit.
Okay.
Here's all I'll say under my breath so no one else can hear. Suppose I do put myself on the radar screen. I might have some more questions. Maybe that makes it easier for you. You know exactly who to look for. I don't. If all their attention is on me, why don't you? You can do it.
True. That's true. All right.
I'm amassing quite a list of questions I want to ask.
All right. That's fair. That's fair.
I feel like they put this media junket together under false pretense, and I want to get to the bottom of it.
Of course they did. Shh.
Wow.
Counter to the collective good.
Is there any other thing you want to get off your chest before we reach the building?
Yes, but I won't.
Nash kind of like scooches away, like, you know, if it's like a 3-person bench and there's just the 2 of us and Rogers is sitting across from us, he kind of like scooches away to
Rogers is sitting
himself.
behind you.
That's a good move. That's a good move. It distances you from the troublemaker. I like it.
Yeah. So he scooches away to kind of be like, oh, we had to bring this guy, sort of thing. You know, he kind of like, like rolls his neck, kind of rolls his eyes.
Okay, so you guys, I'm sure that most of this conversation has been kind of under your breath.
Yes.
Yeah, while she's talking. Yeah, while she's like...
Even if Rogers doesn't catch every word, he can hear the tone of the whispering going back and forth between you. And at that moment, Reggie, you feel Roger's hand on your shoulder from the seat behind. He grabs your shoulder and he squeezes it. He massages you just a little bit. And you can tell without any words at all, he's saying, calm down, big boy.
That feels good. He sort of turns his head and goes, that feels good. You know exactly who you tagged for this job. And he turns back, completely disregarding him.
Okay, well, you guys pull up outside the building. The bus stops in the parking lot. I'm going to screen share with you.
Oh, shit.
I'm going to lock on your picture so everybody can see this.
Okay, it is a big kind of a dome-shaped building with 2 square wings coming off of it. That dome is 3 levels high. So I've sort of done the 2nd floor and the 3rd floor down there as insets.
Oh, cool.
You don't see inside the building at all, but not yet anyway. So your bus is now parked right where the word Somnambula is. And you all get out. You are handed over to the PR director. Her name is Clara Duvan. She shakes all of your hands and she hands you all a press kit, which has both a video disc and a whole bunch of material on the background of the company, as well as sales brochures for the latest Dream Deck 5.
So yeah, Nash takes it and just kind of like stuffs it in a, like a messenger bag or whatever he's carrying with him.
Reggie starts reading through it.
Other people are flipping through the material. I mean, it's your typical sales fluff. It speaks about the company in the most glowing terms. And there are testimonials from people who say that the Dream Deck has changed their life and allowed them to envisage their lost loved ones again and help them with their traumatic episodes from their past. And there are some testimonials from psychologists who say that they use it in their practice and they've never seen such a useful, beneficial device that will change the face of neurological therapy.
When Nash sees that he's the only one that's really not looking at it, he, kind of like slips it back out and starts thumbing through it. So when he sees the recommendations or the testimonials, he immediately starts to like scrutinize and look to see if Susie's name is mentioned.
Ooh.
Susie's name is not mentioned. Okay. However, Dr. Morova Martez is one of the testimonials.
And what does she say in her testimonial?
Morova Martez of the University of California at Davis says that the Dream Deck has led her and her subjects headfirst into the 22nd century of neurological therapy, and that she looks forward to the Dream Deck 5 being even more glorious.
He like angrily stuffs it back into his bag.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Who produced these press packets?
That would be myself and my team. She's already introduced herself. This is Clara Devon speaking. So you've been handed over to their PR person. She's the director of public relations for Somnambula, and she says that those documents are put together by our team of writers and salespeople right here in the building. In fact, you'll be meeting some of our top sales executives on the tour today.
So PR personnel and sales personnel of Somnambula Incorporated put together the press packets.
Well, of course, sir.
Okay, thank you.
A couple of the other reporters are looking at you.
Yeah, I look back at them like, what? Do your jobs. Do your jobs.
We're more interested in what Ingwe Cordova eats for breakfast.
When you raise your hand, I walk away.
Did you look at my Facebook from 2 or 3 years ago when you put this together right now?
Okay, right. and Rogers is taking a couple photographs of the building.
That's good. Get the second level. That's right.
I kick you, I walk past you and I fucking kick you in the shin.
Just okay. Ow.
Now, let me explain to you. We've got a 2-hour tour. In the middle, there will be a break for refreshments, and then we'll take you to the Somnambula Theater, where you'll see some of the latest video that we've produced for publicity purposes. And you guys will all be given copies of all of this material so that you can broadcast it on your own internet nose. You'll also be given both audio and hard copy photographs for those of you who work in print. If you'll follow me, I'll lead you through the reception area, and we're going to be visiting first the research and development labs.
Nash does raise his hand.
Yes. Question.
Will you be providing dream decks to those of us who are in attendance today?
I'm afraid that we can't hand dream decks out to just any and all members of the press. However, if you wish to file a request, as well as an explanation of the purpose of your article, I can certainly put that request through, and we can have my boss get back with your boss.
Thank you. Thank you very much. He glares at Reggie.
Okay, now...
In other words, their boss will tell our boss to tell us to shut up.
Now, Reggie, while Nash is asking that question, I want you to give me a brains roll.
I will do it. Whoa.
Tell me your highest number.
5.
Okay, Nash is asking the question, and everybody is turned toward him. And you notice at that moment, it looks like Agent Rogers has taken advantage of the opportunity to sort of lag back behind the group a little bit, and he turns his back to the group. He leans down like he's tying his shoe, and he pulls something out and sort of tosses it up into the air with a simple flick of his wrist. You see a small object, a mini drone, leave his hand and take off into the air.
Okay. All right. I make a mental note, and when Nash... I make a mental note. That's it.
Okay. And if you'll follow me, let's all go this way. And she heads into the building. Now I'm going to go ahead and share the next map with you guys. You won't see all these hallways all at one time, but I'm just going to go ahead and do it because it'll be easier. If I can make it work.
I guess before we go in, Nash, well, because I guess we probably wouldn't see him. He would look around to see if he could spy any of the guys from DarkMatter, assuming that he probably wouldn't, but he can't help himself but to look around. to see.
Yeah, okay. We can call it a brains roll.
Alrighty. I think that's 2. 4 is the high.
You don't see anything.
Okay. He didn't think so, but it's just one of those things like when you know something is happening or should be happening, he just kind of like gives that look.
Are you guys seeing the new image with the interior hallways?
Yes.
Okay. Those gray circles are doors because I didn't feel like angling a bunch of little rectangles. Okay, so you guys are going in where it says ground floor, right into the center there. There's a big reception area. That round thing out in front is a huge 3D rotating Somnambula Inc. logo, which looks a little like a stylized letter S with like a snake head on it.
Okay.
So a big holographic 3D sculpture sort of out in front. She leads you off to the left side, and then you take that left turn down into those 6 big rooms. There's a plaque on the wall that says R&D. This is our research and development department. And I'll be introducing you here to Dr. Goebbels. He'll be taking you through. You're met by a short man with white hair, bald on top. He's wearing a white lab coat. He welcomes the group. He's glad to have you all here. He gives you some general spiel that you've heard already about the dream deck being the future of neurotherapy. And he takes you into that very first room off the left side. So now you've gone left and left. You're in that very first room at the top right portion of the lower left quadrant. In this room, you see a lot of beds with dream decks mounted above them, lots of complicated computer imagery, or computers and holographic interfaces above each bed. There's nobody in any of these beds, but he says this is the lab where we do a lot of our pre-screening and testing for dream deck volunteers. And as you can see, we have all the latest computer equipment. These are medical imaging systems that are actually manufactured by Vericom, and that's a company that they make high-tech computer shit. We use nothing but the finest equipment here, and all of our research and development goes through multiple stages of testing, both on subjects as well as hard testing, unit testing. If there are any questions, I'll be sure. And there's a couple people who asked some questions. If you guys have any questions, you can ask this guy. He's the head of R&D.
If no one else asks the question, then Nash would ask how they choose the subjects for their research.
There are multiple avenues through which subjects are brought to us, he says. And most of our subjects, however, are recommended by their therapists or psychology professors. We have many partnerships with the university system, both here in the United States and around the world. Our subjects are pre-screened for neurological conditions and various psychological states. We also do advanced testing with patients who are ranked against control groups for the treatment of specific neurological disorders. That's not done in this room, but I will show you a little later on where those tests take place.
He starts getting hot around his fucking neck because Martez picked her. Even if she wasn't here, this is his line of reasoning. It's her fault that this happened. She's a therapist. She, somehow or whatever got in contact with Ingwe Cordoba. So he starts to flush a little bit. Like if Reggie or Rogers looks over, just around his collar is fucking red.
Reggie would come over to put a hand on him, like, easy, Nash.
Somebody asked if they're allowed to take pictures in this room, and he says, yes, you are. So the cameras are whipped out. Some people are taking pictures. A couple people are asking questions about just various aspects of the computers and the technology used. And you notice that when they get too technical, he defers those questions. He doesn't want to get too technical.
Okay.
Can we have a look inside any of these rooms?
Well, of course, I'll be taking you to look through several of these rooms as we proceed. As a matter of fact, why don't we proceed down the hall to our next room where we do pre-screening. He gathers the whole group together. You go down the hall. Both of you guys give me a brains roll right now.
Fuck. 3.
2.
All right. Nothing untoward seems apparent, and he takes you into the next room where there are a bunch of cozy couches and conference tables, as well as a big holographic display, which is showing happy people using dream decks and some of the testimonies that you read earlier. Now you're seeing those testimonies live on video. This room is obviously designed to make people feel relaxed and comfortable. The furniture is very cushy, and the colors are muted tones. There are some plants in the room. He explains that this is the room where they do pre-screening interviews, because we want to make sure when we do our control testing that we get people grouped together in the proper diagnostic groups. What he's basically saying is that this is where they use verbal and computer interview techniques to separate out the people who are going to be used as controls from the people who are going to be used as therapeutic test subjects.
I have a question.
Certainly.
What are some of the criteria that you use to determine who is a good test subject and who is a good control subject?
Well, thanks to our partnerships with the California University system, we have a battery of psychological exams, both oral, written, as well as minimally computer invasive, which screen out those of us who have pre-existing neurological conditions and psychological trauma. Those candidates with neurological conditions are moved into Lab C across the hall, and those with psychological trauma go to Lab B. The rest are kept as control subjects, who are used, of course, to rate the validity of our more advanced tests.
Can you comment on the differences between the tests that are run on the subjects with neurological disorders as opposed to trauma?
Well, without getting too technical, since this isn't a psychological, what does he say? Since this isn't a psychological psychology 101 class, there are, as you know, the patient's directory of neurological conditions has various scales which are used to rate a person's responses to various verbal and visual stimuli. Gauging by their autonomic responses, verbal responses, and skin galvanization, we were able to separate out test subjects who have outlying responses and group them into various categories by vertical. Those verticals would correspond, of course, to the directory and registry of known psychological conditions. And this is all a little bit medical jargony, but those of you who work for psychological magazines and trade magazines will be glad to know that we use only the latest condition and response tests as recommended by the University of California State System.
I have a follow-up.
Yes, sir.
The dream decks that you use on these subjects, how do they differ when dealing with the different afflictions?
Oh, we haven't yet gotten to the point where any dream decks are actually used. This is a...
I will hold my question until then.
Certainly. Let me take you across the hall to our manufacturing room. And here you see a big white room, and he makes you all put on plastic gloves and breather masks. This room is very cold. It is largely automated. You've now gone to the sort of northwest side of the hallway. He's taking you into those other 3 rooms across the way. In this room, there are a few humans, but mostly robots that are actually welding and assembling the circuitry and the casings for Dream Decks. This is where the Dream Decks are actually put together, utilizing the latest designs that come from our executive R&D labs upstairs. Dr. Cordoba personally oversees the design process, and all of these automated systems were built custom for Somnambula Inc. And they have some kind of amazing assembly line robots here that you've never seen anywhere else. There are bots that run across the walls and across the ceilings, and they're handing these decks off. And one thing you do notice is that if you've ever been inside a manufacturing plant, these suckers are fast. They're putting these things together like 100 a minute.
Are they allowing pictures in this room?
You can take pictures in this room, yes.
Okay. All right. If not, he was going to try to surreptitiously snap a picture, but if they're taking pictures, then he doesn't.
No, most of the robots and assembly actually happens on the other side of a glass partition, but you are allowed to photograph it. We're not going to be allowed to walk into that room.
Sure.
But you can take pictures.
If possible, one of the life shapers that I put together was determined to like uncover the secrets of lucid dreaming. As I was sort of like in the past, I was in like testing for that kind of stuff. Is it possible to like all the stuff that we're seeing? Can I make a roll to see if I recognize any of it from that time, and sort of like see if I can discern anything extra out of it?
No, there's nothing here that you recognize.
Okay, cool.
You were after that section of the tour, you're handed back to Clara Devan. It's been maybe 20 or 30 minutes, and she leads the group back through the big central circle, where she takes you over to the right rectangle on the east side of the building. She's going to hand you off to she's going to hand you off to their head of sales, Max Genesee, and he will take you from here. You go through the northernmost of the 2 hallways leading due east. And at the second door, he welcomes you all inside. Big, cushy office with lots of couches and comfortable chairs, big vid screen display, and a holographic display in the center of the room. This is where he starts showing a bunch of videos about, it's basically talking about how great the company is and a little background on Dr. Ingwe Cordoba. So a lot of people have got their phones up and they're recording this. And he says that their sales department has made a lot of inroads in ways that no other neurotech has been known to make use of. Again, thanks to our partnerships with the University of California system and with the academies both here and abroad, we have managed to get the attention of pre-med students as well as lower graduate level students. And this has given the Dream Deck a level of exposure unparalleled in neurotherapeutic tech. This enables us to get our potential users as well as our potential distributors very early in the game. What he's basically saying is that they're using their connections to higher education in order to expose as many people as possible to Dream Deck technology at as young an age as possible.
So Nash is angry.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously this is the way business works. But he doesn't say anything, but he is agitated.
Brains rolls from both of you guys again.
Oh, I rolled a 6.
Woo!
Fist
We
bump,
win!
virtual fist bump.
Found it. We win. We just solved it. We solved the puzzle.
Okay, as you guys are turning the corner into the sales wing, you notice the door behind the ground floor receptionist area opens up, and some guys come out in very expensive suits. They're shaking hands, and one group of guys who apparently represents Somnambula executives are saying goodbye to another group of executives who are preparing to depart. That probably that door right behind the ground floor, like diagonal above where it says ground floor, leads to the executive suites, because that's where those guys came out of.
Okay.
And since you rolled sixes, I'm going to give you something else. You notice Agent Rogers in between. He's lagging behind a little bit. He's taking pictures of the hallways and the room and the sales guy, Mr. Genesi. But as soon as Genesi's attention is away from him, he turns around. He does that thing again where he bends over. This time he's tying his other shoe, and he releases a small object which flies off and around that circular hallway.
All right, so
since you both rolled sixes, I'll go ahead and tell you, you probably figured it out. He is releasing mini drones that are doing reconnaissance. They're probably live leads going back to DarkMatter's men. These things they're too small to see. They're like the size of mosquitoes.
Right.
Why did they need us? Reggie wouldn't have said that out loud, but I think Reggie would throw you a look, seeing that you noticed it this time too, and just gives you like a nod, like, all right, on edge now, go time.
Yeah, Nash kind of shrugs a little bit, like this is a good thing, like more intel is better. Like if we can't get all the way around the building, that at least we'll have, maybe a better layout. And if, obviously he doesn't know how long the charge is, how long these things are going to last, but like maybe it can map every single room. Like as doors open, they pop in, they pop out, run through the ductwork or whatever.
Reggie would make a point to make eye contact with with Harley. Excuse me. Brandon would make a point of making eye contact with Harley so that he knew that he just noticed what he did.
Harley winks at you.
All right, Reggie looks away. Resumes his attention back to the tour. Okay,
so now we're back in the cushy sales room, and Max is pulled out the Dream Deck 5, which he's now showing you. It looks even nicer and more comfortable than the version that you guys had previously seen. And he asks if there's anyone here who wants to volunteer for a demonstration.
I put my hand on your arm before you can raise your hand.
You know he's thinking about it.
Oh, God. Yeah, that's
fine.
And
the last thing you want to do is expose these people to your sexual nightmares.
Or is it the first thing I want to do? No, that's fine. Yeah, Reggie did have a thought of going in, and that's fine. No, I will relinquish control of my arm.
Well, somebody else volunteers. It's a one of the reporters with a camera mounted on his head. And hey, what's your name, sir? Stephen. Well, Stephen, why don't you come up over here? Make yourself comfortable. We're gonna put one of these dream decks on you, and the rest of you just sit back and enjoy. This is a new feature with the Dream Deck 5. You don't even have to be asleep. Did you know that your subconscious processors are at work 24/7? Come on up and sit here, Stephen. And he sits him down in the chair, and he puts the thing on his head, and he gets him to relax and close his eyes. We're just going to get a little bit of eidetic imagery from you, and suddenly the hologram in the middle of the room morphs and shifts, and you see a woman in a bikini saying, "Come on, the water's fine." And Steve sort of smiles embarrassingly. He says, "That's my wife." And she dives into the pool.
Sure it is, Steve.
and then the view from the viewpoint dives into the pool with her, and you're looking at this woman swimming underwater. And Steve is like, "We just went on a vacation last week. That was the resort that we were at." And whenever he talks, the image gets muddled and glitchy. And so Max tells him to calm down and just sort of roll with it. And whenever he stops thinking so much, the image becomes crystal clear. This is much better imagery than the Dream Deck 4. And so apparently, so Steve, you've been thinking a lot about that vacation. And Steve says, "Oh yeah, I didn't really want to come back to work, but you got to make a living." And again, when he talks, the image gets glitchy and hard to discern. And then when he quiets down and closes his eyes, the image becomes crystal clear again. There are a couple more scenes about him and his wife enjoying Mai Tais and dancing at the cabana. And then it gets a little bit risque. And that's when Steve says, "Whoa, whoa," and Max takes the device off of him. He says, "We want to try to keep this material G-rated, Steve." Although your subconscious did just bring up an interesting point, and before I hand you back to Ms. Duvan, this is just one of the many areas where you can see the psychotherapeutic benefit of the Dream Deck 5 without even needing you to be asleep. By putting you into a light hypnagogic state, your therapist or psychologist can run through the most recent images in your short to long-term memory.
I have a question.
Certainly.
What measures have you and your organization taken to sort of help protect against abuse of this technology?
What sort of abuse are you referring to, sir?
Well, specifically the leveraging of information that these dream decks pick up against the subject.
Well, there are only two cases in which a person's private dream matter might be disclosed. The first would be to a psychologist or licensed therapist who is bound by doctor-patient confidentiality not to reveal said contents. And the second, of course, would be in the hands of law enforcement personnel.
One final question for you. How is distribution of these dream decks handled? Is it by Somnambula or do you outsource?
We do have arrangements with some of the largest distributors in North America as well as throughout Europe. We don't handle distribution directly, but you will see the trucks leaving our manufacturing division around the same time as your bus is scheduled to leave. You'll notice a large hover truck being loaded up. Those shipments go out almost daily to our distribution plants in Northern California and then from there throughout the world.
Are those distribution plants privately owned?
They are. They are professional business-to-consumer distributors with whom we have arranged various degrees of partnership. Just like most household consumer appliances, the Dream Decks are sold through retail outlets in all major cities.
Common retail appliances. All right, thank you.
And with that said, you guys have now been here for about an hour. He hands the group back over to Clara Devan, and she says, I would like to take you all upstairs now to our commissary, where we will enjoy a brief lunch together before we resume the tour. So she takes you back to the ground floor. Now, that door where the executives came out, you now go through that door, down a small hallway, through a second door, to a round elevator shaft in the very center of the building. It's a large elevator, the size of a freight elevator. And when you all get inside, it has room for all 15 of you. You go up to the second floor, and the elevator lets you out. There is a large commissary area right in front of you. Wrapping around the back of the building are a bunch of smaller offices with double sealed doors with keypads on them.
Okay, Nash would make note of it. He was trying to like mentally keep a map. I mean, Rogers is obviously mapping, but you know, if he is in here on his own or what, like he's just trying to be prepared if he needs to know where he's going.
What kind of food's at the spread?
There is an amazing variety of foods from multiple different cultures here. They actually tell you that they have a 5-star chef who is not only capable of creating any type of cuisine, but will actually take your requests.
Could we have a tour of the kitchen?
A tour of the kitchen?
Yeah.
I'm afraid that's not on the schedule. Our chefs are very busy here, and already some people are giving them requests for rather extravagant things. They have the highest quality food printers, as well as traditional culinary technicians working here.
Oh, that's a shame.
As you can tell, that Somnambula employees are treated very, very well. Indeed, you see there's a lot of employees just sitting around at various tables. They all look very happy, very comfortable, and very well paid.
How far are the double doors from where the commissary is? Like, is it across the hall, down the hall?
There is another, it's a round hallway that goes around this building, and the commissary is, you're on the 2nd floor now.
Mm-hmm.
So the commissary is the southeast quarter of the 2nd floor. And then these doors are all wrapped around the rest of the 2nd floor.
Okay. So I think Nash would stay to eat, and then
you're actually catching the eye of Agent Rogers. He sort of nods at you. That's like a signal.
Right.
Everybody's digging into the food, and you're going to be here for about 20 minutes.
Yeah. That was the plan. Like, he would eat real quick and then, you know, make like he was going to go use the restroom and then begin to wander.
Uh-huh. There's a restroom right outside the commissary on the left side.
Okay. So he goes out. He takes a look down the hallway, kind of like pushes the door open. So it looks like he went in and then just kind of like, you know, football style, like spin move. Ooh. And then heads up the hallway.
Okay, are you going back to where the elevator shaft is, or are you going around the hallway on the 2nd level?
I think around the hallway on the 2nd level, and he would be, you know, mindful of camera angles if there are, you know, since it's circular, he could maybe see them and kind of like put himself in a position where they're not recording his face.
You do see cameras every once in a while, so yeah, you want to do your best to avoid those. Yep. Do you have a stealth skill?
I believe I do have stealth, actually. I do.
Good. I'm going to want a stealth roll from you.
All right. Motherfucker, I rolled a pair of 1s. So it's technically a 2. Fuck. This game hates me.
You're not sure you evaded view. You think you've been seen on camera.
Okay. He comes around one corner like he thinks he's got him marked out, like he's kind of looking like every 15 feet or like every 20 feet, so it like catches all the things.
Probably
like,
trying to make it look like you're lost.
Yeah. So he like
do that John Travolta thing.
Yeah, exactly. And he comes around a corner and it like turns and the camera's like right there. He's like, oh, fuck, and he just like turns back around and starts to like look the other way. I guess where the camera's not exposed, he would. So I guess is everything secured with a keypad up here?
From what you can see, all the doors on this level are secured with keypads except for the commissary and the restrooms.
Okay. On a lark, he would like pull a handle on one at random, knowing full well that it wouldn't work, but just to see like, oh, maybe it didn't latch all the way or, you know, whatever.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Nice idea, though.
He would also, in a camera dead area, get a little bit closer to look to see if he can see where the keypad may have been worn some, to see if he could gain access to one of these rooms potentially.
Oh, wow. Give me a brains roll.
All right. I'm not going to roll the same dice again because they can eat a dick.
You need some of John's My Little Pony dice.
Yeah, I know, right? So my high is a 4.
They've failed me a couple times tonight.
You know what? They keep this place very, very clean.
Makes sense. So I guess the only other thing that he would do, he kind of he checks his watch, see how long he's been gone, see if he can.
You figure you've got 10 minutes to make it back to the commissary.
He would. Has anyone come out of any of the doors that he's seen or heard?
Not yet.
I mean, it's completely random. He would try to keep an eye on.
Oh, you can also see, by the way, because you went around the hall a little bit. It's a round hallway, right? It goes all the way around this level. Mm-hmm. The elevator shaft is in the center, and there's another door on the other side of the elevator shaft. So the elevator shaft can be entered from front and back.
Okay. I don't know if he's got enough time to get upstairs, because that'd be super obvious. Fuck. He doesn't do it. He doesn't do it. He waits in the hall to see if maybe he can grab a door that somebody's gonna walk out of, so he can walk in behind them. But it's completely random, right? So if they walk out and turn to the right and he's standing by the right, they obviously see him. Hey, what are you doing here? Did you get lost? But if they walk the other way, he maybe gets a toe in and kind of
You don't see anyone come out of these doors, but you do see the elevator light dings, and that means an elevator has just arrived on this level.
Okay.
And the doors are starting to open.
He immediately breaks to the right and waits to see if someone comes around the hall.
4 people come out of the elevator. They go around the other way, therefore not seeing you, and they're talking about lunch.
Damn it. He follows to see if he can see who it is. And on the off chance, even though they're talking about lunch, if they go into one of these rooms.
These people are wearing white jumpsuits. They seem to be technicians. And just as, they come out of the elevator and they walk the other way away from you, and you're following them. So you have a moment where you could jump into the elevator.
Oh, I feel like I'm being pushed forward. All right, he jumps in the elevator.
Well, you can go back the other way.
So if they just look like techs, they don't look like anybody. He would think maybe he could follow one into the bathroom. He could maybe knock a guy out. But again, we're way pushing the boundaries then if, the guy's going to be found and or wake up oh, my God, what happened? Who's in the suit? And I've only have 10 minutes. He jumps in the elevator.
Yes, sir.
Right. The elevator door is closed. You're the only person in the elevator. There are 3 buttons, 1, 2, and 3.
He goes to 3.
A couple seconds later, the doors open again. You're on the 3rd level.
He kind of pokes his head out, kind of looks left, looks right real quick to see if anybody's standing right there.
There's nobody standing right there. There are a bunch of doors going all the way around this hallway. Now, on this level, the rooms are, of course, smaller and closer together. But there is one door, the southwestmost door, that has a lot of space on either side of it, indicating that that room is larger than all the other rooms.
Does it look like that one also has a keypad?
Oh, yeah. All these doors have keypads.
Okay.
There's a rectangular window in each door.
he would cautiously approach and try to peek in.
Okay, give me a brains roll.
Okay. Pair of twos.
Okay. You see it's about, I think about 20 feet wide by 10 feet deep. It's a dark room with blue light. And inside this room are about a dozen, they look like, they look kind of like a sarcophagi, but they don't have lids on them. Instead, they're filled with a sort of a blue gel substance. Each one of them is big enough for a human being to lay in. And in fact, you see in at least the ones closer to you, there are humans laying submerged in this blue gel.
Oh shit!
What the fuck? Like a isolation thing? Like, fuck. So he like scans the faces to see if one of them is Suzie. If he doesn't see her, he would immediately like run to the next door then and begin looking.
You really can't tell from the distance you're at.
Okay.
And not only that, but these people are completely submerged. Their faces and everything are submerged in this blue gel.
Okay.
No, you don't have lock picking, do you?
I do not.
Hacking? Electronics?
No.
Computers?
He's a soldier.
Yeah.
I don't have anything that would be applicable.
Do you want to try a roll without the skill?
My dice are horrible, but what the fuck? So he looks.
You never know.
Yeah, he looks at the keypad. He kind of like gets down and sort of like tries to get the light on it to see like if it reveals any sort of wear or whatever.
This is going to be a brains roll.
Okay. I rolled a 5.
Hmm?
You have no luck with the lock, but you do notice something that makes your skin crawl a little bit. Now that your eyes are accustomed to the dimness of the blue room through the blue glass, it looks like, I mean, again, it's hard to see under the gel, but it looks like all these people are the same person. It's a man, looks to be in his early 30s, dark hair, and you can see 4 of these guys kind of close to the door. They look identical.
So he pulls out his PDA real quick and looks up Ingwe Cordoba's picture. If I haven't already seen, like if I already know who he looks like, he would look him up.
No, it's not Cordoba. Cordoba is kind of broad and has dark, like Middle Eastern kind of skin. It's not him. This is a very pale white man with dark hair.
So then he searches for.
Give me another brains roll.
Yeah, I was gonna say he searches for the doctor Diaspora. He was the one that had like the crazy like cancer and all the other shit that died.
Oh yeah.
I rolled a 6.
Take a picture.
Yeah. So he looks at the phone. He's like, oh fuck, and he closes all the browsers and like takes a picture, and then like takes a bunch of pictures.
All right. Yeah, it's not Zion Diaspora either. He was really old.
Okay. So he runs to the next room. I don't know if he runs. He cautiously moves to the next room to look to see what's in there, if there's more things, and if those things look like these guys?
No, this is a much smaller room. It looks almost like a comfortable jail cell, and there is a person sleeping in a bunk there.
Dude, is it Suzie? Like every time it's going to be, is it Suzie?
It's hard to tell because they have the blankets pulled up all the way, but you know what? That the hair could be Suzie.
Oh my god.
Fuck. He looks to the next door to see.
This is a similar cell. Nobody in the bed.
Fuck. All right, he grits his teeth. He just he looks at his watch and he's like, fuck.
Yeah, you've got 2 minutes left.
Yeah, he makes a break for the elevator, punches the button. It's like nervously bouncing his fucking leg.
Oh, Reggie can make a distraction.
The elevator doors open, and it's Clara Devon is standing in there.
Oh.
She has a concerned look on her face, but then it breaks into a sort of a tense smile. And she says, Mr. Tikhak, there you are. Did you get separated from the group? We're just about to continue the tour. You're not supposed to be on this level.
Oh, I did. Thank you so much.
Come this way. And she pulls you rather firmly into the elevator with her.
I'm sorry. I was looking for the bathroom, and I got confused. I got turned around, and I saw a door open, and I walked in, and it I guess someone had already punched the button. I'm so sorry.
Well, yes, I understand. People can get lost in this building with the peculiar architecture and all, but our group is about to reconvene, and so we really do need to get back. She punches button number 2, and down you guys go. This is off the tour, sir. You really are not supposed to be in these areas. We need to keep these areas as clean as possible. You understand the possible intrusion of any pathogens, even the mildest of germs, could throw all of our experimentation out of whack.
Oh, I hope that I didn't cause a problem. Did I miss anything? I hope I didn't miss anything.
No. The doors open up, and she leads you back into the cafeteria. She has almost uncomfortably firm grip on your arm, but she's smiling and says, "It's not a problem. Everybody gets lost once in a while." She takes you back into the commissary where everybody's finishing up their meal, and she deposits you with the other 2 gentlemen in your subgroup.
Okay. He waits for her to go. He surreptitiously, he doesn't stare at her, but kind of goes back to his food, kind of starts to clean up his plate, and kind of keeps flicking his eyes up to see, whether or not she's on the phone, if okay. She's pointing at our table.
Everybody else is just finishing up their meals. You're shoving food into your face as fast as you can, and you glance up. You notice that she is touching her earpiece. She's talking to someone.
I say real low pitch to those 2 guys. He's like, I think
there you are.
Shush.
I've got some wonderful information. I've been pumping them full of questions the entire time.
I think I found Suzie. I was up on the 3rd floor. They have what appear to be jail cells, along with guys in fucking clones. I think there's fucking clones.
What do we need to do?
Look, she found me upstairs, and she's on her headpiece. This could go south from here. I told her I got lost. I don't know if she's going to believe it, but I'm me without the fake nose, and I don't know.
Do you need a distraction?
Well, if I fucking leave, then they're going to know something's up. I just want you guys to know what's going on.
Rogers leans forward, and he speaks like in a really low whisper. He says, "We may have to prepare to bolt. Just keep that in mind. And if I give you a signal, just follow me." He then leans back and he points at both of your phones.
Nash narrows his eyes when he pulls out his phone.
He wants you to look at your phone.
Okay, yeah, looks at the phone.
He makes a couple gestures and a new image appears on your phone. Now you can see the whole map that I was showing you earlier, because his drones have indeed mapped out the entire building.
Okay.
Okay, now down at the lower end of the southwest wing, there's an emergency exit at the end of that hallway. If we have to make a break for it, that's where we're going.
The commissary here is. What does the map show like around it as far as like, are there any staircases that are close to it? Like anything through the kitchen, perhaps?
Not that you can see. As a matter of fact, it seems that the elevator is the only way to get from one floor to the other.
Oh, jeez. All right, we're going to have to assume that they're going to try to take you before the tour is let out.
At this point, Clara is gesturing to everyone and calling, "Okay, people, finish up. We want you all to be together and stay as a group. We're going to head to the Somnambula Theater for the last leg of our tour."
All right.
Some people are making jokes about how they could stay in this commissary all day.
You sniveling little shits.
So he says to the other two as they're kind of like starting to stand and, get into line. He's like, "Should we be first into the elevator in case something happens? We can jump in and throw them out."
I mean, we're going to need to. We can't go to the theater.
I guess we get lost when we get down.
She gathers the whole group together. She starts filing you all out and back toward where the elevator is.
I would make sure that we were towards the front, and he would joke with like the guy standing next to me, like, "That's not the bathroom."
Okay, the elevator comes. The door is open. Are you guys in the front of the group or the back of the group, or what do you want to do?
I think we're front, right? So Nash's thought is, if there's like two security guys standing in the elevator and they're like, "Hey," we grab them, pull them out, punch the button, down and out the door. You know what I mean? Because there's no other way out. We can't get to windows because we can't get to outside. So the elevator's the only way. So we can't have that cut off.
There seems to be no one in the elevator. However, it's funny you should mention security guards, because there are two of them coming around the corner toward you from the other side.
So,
are we doing this?
I walk in, I pull the other two guys in, and I punch the fucking button.
This is a grace roll. Roll very high.
You won't have to pull Reggie in. He'd be right with you.
I rolled a 5.
That'll do it. You're in the elevator and you push the closed door button. Somebody goes, "Hey, my foot!"
Sorry.
He pulls his foot back out of the way. You guys are in the elevator. Where are you going? 1 or 3?
We have to go to 1 because we got to get out. Right?
What are you expecting us to go to 1?
But there's no way out of 3.
Okay. You hit the lock. You hit the 1 button. Rogers reaches behind him. He pulls out his compression pistol. He says, "We're bolting for it. They're onto us."
Oh,
no shit, Rogers. So he's like, Nash would take his out and kind of like have his hands crossed in front of him so it wasn't obvious that he had a pistol. In case someone was at the, if they can clearly just walk out, he would walk out quickly towards that, exit door.
Okay, Rogers is holding his weapon down, but still in full view. And the elevator doors open. And there are 2 security guards standing right in front of you.
I think they both get blasted with air.
Drop them. Yeah. We
All
blow
right.
them
Here
away.
we go, you guys. This is an action frame. What's everybody doing?
Nash just brings his hand up and poof.
Okay. These guys do not have weapons drawn, so you have an advantage. I'm going to give you a plus. Everybody gets a +1 on this.
That gives me a 6.
And John Beta, are you firing?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'll be firing and simultaneously just like sprinting at one of them to try. Just like shoot them and then get them out of the way so we can clear a path. All right. So it's a +1. You said.
Yep.
Brace, and then now my firearm is a +2. Would it be a +1 because it's a lateral move down or no?
Yes. So you get a +1 from the gun and the skill, and a +1 from positioning.
All right, perfect. Brace. Roll the 6, baby, at 8.
That totals out at 8. All right, you get your shot off. One guard goes flying back against the back wall.
Nice.
Nash, you get your shot off. It's a yes, but what's the but?
Well, the but.
Well, no, I'm going to tell you what the but is. The guy gets spun around because you hit him off center.
Sure, and shoulder.
Standing right in your way.
So as I begin to run, I just fucking put my shoulder into him.
All right, and let's also get a roll for Agent Rogers. Did he fire at the right guy? Yes! He hits your guy, blowing him out of your way.
Nice.
Down on his ass in the hallway. And Rogers goes, go, go, go!
So he like lowered his shoulder to make the rush at him, and then he feels like whoof go past him, and then he like, oh shit, and he almost stumbles because the guy's not there anymore, and then just fucking hoofs it for that emergency exit.
Okay, so now you guys are in you've just come out of the southeast elevator door. You have to run through that little conjoining hallway. So there's a double doors you have to push open, and then down that little hallway, double doors push open to be like in the reception area. And I imagine you're doing that as fast as possible.
Oh, yes.
You come running out into the reception area. The receptionist spins around with a little shriek, but there's no security here. And Rogers starts taking off to the southwest.
I guess we follow him then.
Back down through the manufacturing wing.
Yeah. That was the plan, to go out that emergency door. Yep.
Okay. He's also touching his earpiece as he's running down the hall, and he shouts out a couple words, Beta Tango. As you guys go running down the hall, you hear an alarm go off throughout the building.
Yep, that makes sense.
We gotta make this quick. We gotta make this quick. Go, 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 go.
On the doors on either side of you, you see the people in the manufacturing labs are looking out through the windows as you guys go rushing past. You make it to the double doors. It's an emergency exit, only exit in case of emergency. Rogers is in the lead. He throws himself against that door. The doors are thrown wide open. As you guys come out the door, you hear shouting from behind you. It's more security turning that corner. Stop right there!
Covering fire.
A couple of them raise their weapons.
Reggie is going to shoot back at them.
All right. Roll at me, bro.
As I'm running. I
got a 7.
Down to a +1 now, right? Because of the
That's correct.
situational bonus is gone. No, rolled a 3, so a 4 total.
Reggie, you've been hit with a concussion blast in the right hip.
I've been concussed.
Yeah, you're going to take 1 point of grace damage,
Damn it.
and you fall right in the open doorway. Nash, you're going to have to grab him and pull him out of the way.
All right.
Oh, leave me, Nash. Oh.
As you do that, the security guards fire at you one more time. Their shots go wild. What did you roll?
I rolled a pair of 3s.
That's enough to drag him out of the way. The doors are starting to swing shut now. The guards are yelling for you to stop. You can hear the alarm on the outside of the building as well as the inside. And there is a security vehicle, a little hovering vehicle with a guard in it, coming this way from the south end of the parking lot.
I think as I pull Reggie to his feet, he actually makes a beeline towards the hover vehicle, because then they're going to get out of here a lot fucking faster than that thing. If there's only one guy, there's three of us.
There you go.
That's a good move.
And our pistols are, well, my pistol and Roger's pistol should probably be recharged by this point.
Yeah, and Reggie, you're back on your feet again. But I don't think you have to worry about taking out that guard, because just then, right in front of you, a black hover van from DarkMatter Inc. comes down directly in front of you. The doors open up. There's a couple of DarkMatter mercs in there. They shout, "Get in! Get in!"
Okay. Dive for it.
You guys dive in there. Just as the security guards from Somnambula are coming out the door, they see you guys lift off in the black hover van.
Oh my God.
Tell me it doesn't say DarkMatter on the side.
No, it does not.
Okay.
No, it's a completely unmarked van.
Yeah, okay.
Nice. DarkMatter Inc.
You guys are out. And you're now heading off toward the freeway at high altitude and high speed. Rogers is just like sort of shaking his head and laughing. He's like, "I knew it would be exciting with you guys."
Yeah.
Check this out, he says. Let me share a different screen with you for a second here.
I like those little toys you got there.
I think when he yells it's exciting, like Nash is picking himself up off the floor, and he just fucking, like, he grabs him, like, both fists, on his collars. He's like, "I'm glad you're having a good time. My fucking girlfriend is a prisoner upstairs."
Why didn't you grab her?
I couldn't get her out of the fucking... Don't make me feel more fucking guilty. I couldn't get her.
No, it's not a guilt thing. I'm just asking. Why couldn't you grab her?
All the fucking doors are locked. It's just like the second floor. It's got a keypad.
Rogers holds up his phone, and he shows you that his drones have managed to get a complete map of every door and every room in the facility. We now have a full-on intel on the interior architecture of this place, all 3 levels.
All right, so he lets him go.
A little intel for next time, he says.
Nice. And Reggie holds up this spiral-bound notebook, which is just overflowing with notes from all the questions that he asked. We need to get to these distribution centers. I'm formulating a plan to go after them.
Well, gentlemen, I think that's where we're going to fade to black. You guys are making your getaway successfly. Now, of course, getting back inside that building a second time is going to be a lot harder.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, probably impossible.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what they would think, right? So, like, it could be, business espionage kind of thing. Like, we're trying to steal secrets. Like, there's no. I mean, I guess they'll go over footage and they'll look at everybody who came through.
Oh, yeah.
To see. So I don't know. Like, this might be the thing that springs Reggie now. But we didn't really work together. But your military background could.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I couldn't have expected to stay unnoticed forever.
I mean, I guess it depends on how total the new ID is, right? So, like, if your face is tied to the new ID, then maybe they don't find out.
Oh yeah, right? No, they don't know Reggie. They know Brandon.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, before I forget, you guys get 3 experience points each.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. All right. Yeah.
That wasn't the cleanest mission I've been on, says Rogers, but it wasn't the nastiest either. You guys did good.
And how many missions have you actually been on?
You don't think I made it to the executive level right off the bat, do you?
All right. I mean, you fucking those drones did the trick. I mean, it's pretty snazzy.
We'll have to show you a better time next time.
Well, you know what? I could use a drink right about now.
Nash sits up like a little bit straighter, like somebody poked him.
Fine. We're fine. Thank you.
Have it your own way. He tells the driver he wants him to drop him off at his favorite bar.
You can drop us back off at our hotel room.
Oh, yeah. James will take care of you. He'll take you anywhere you want to go.
All right,
Yeah,
back to the anxious.
Down the street from the Anxious Arms.
All right.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay, the van comes down to earth, a block away from the Anxious Arms. Roger says, "Gentlemen, you did good in there. We really couldn't have asked for better. We'll be in touch, eh?"
I hope so.
It looks like you've got something to say, Reggie. I'm sorry. I mean,
No, not
Brandon.
not to them. Just conversational stuff with Nash.
All right, you guys.
Yeah.
Good working with you. We'll be in touch.
All right. Good night.
All right.
There you are. You're back in the streets of Sacramento suburb.
So when he leaves, Nash would say to Reggie, "Well, we know where they dropped Rogers off, and we know he likes to hang out there. So that's good information in case we need that later."
Still trying to figure out why we were on that mission.
Well, maybe
By the way, it just so you know, it's a bar called Rebel Yell.
Rebel Yell. Okay. Maybe if we give him the benefit of the doubt that the drones was the thing that he wasn't telling us about, but I don't. Things are never that easy.
No. But I'll tell you what. I feel like I have a better understanding of this whole situation now than I did. And I don't like it one bit. I think it's very telling of the manner of people that they had at that junket. And I am not impressed with what I saw as far as safety concerns. I think we really need to look at these outsourced distribution centers.
Like, that's your concern, huh?
Well,
so
we're not going to get back into the
so Nash,
into there again without any problems.
Nash, have you told Reggie about the blue room?
I told them when we were in the cafeteria that they were, or at least I started to tell them about, the blue gel. So then he takes his phone out and brings up the picture, and he's like,
Jesus.
Besides Suzie, there's a bigger room that's not a prison cell that has what looks like clones in it of the same guy. And he shows him the
Well,
picture.
since you've got the picture on your phone, you can pull that up and run an algorithm over it to do some image resolution.
Theoretically, can I do that?
Well, you can probably download an app to do it.
Okay, all right.
And if you do that, and you're able to, and you zoom in on the bodies in these tanks, you verify without a doubt they all look identical. It's the same man in every tank.
Who is this motherfucker? That's what I want to know. It's not Cordoba, which would kind of make sense, right? You'd think he could live forever then. I don't know.
Do I recognize the guy?
No.
I mean, maybe we should have told Rogers. They might have been able to do some scans on the database to see if they can match this face to somebody.
Why don't we just hold on to it for now? All right? He's got something. Now you've got something on them. Let's see if we can meet in the middle somehow next time we meet.
All right.
We're probably going to have to be debriefed. Maybe you can come up in there.
All right. Good.
Reggie puts his arm on Nash's shoulder. This was a good job. You did good. We're going to get her back.
It hurts me that she's still there. I mean, I can't guarantee it was her, but we have to assume that she's there, and it kind of look like her. It's
something. It's something to hold on to. That's all we needed.
All right. You're right. They said 2 parts. This was the recon.
Next comes the fun part. Did you think it was strange they wouldn't let me in the kitchen?
It doesn't matter. What does it matter?
I'm a member of the press.
He just slaps you. You slapped him.
I'm putting this in my article.
You're not writing a fucking article, man.
Why not?
Damn it.
Why can't I?
Whose name are you going to publish it under? We just burned these IDs too.
I'll come up with a new one, a pen name.
Fuck. Shit. We can't go back to the hotel.
Probably.
As they're walking towards the hotel.
What did we have it under our pseudonyms?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it wouldn't be under our names, yeah.
Of course not. No, we can't go back there now. That's done. It's probably already tapped or already, being staked out.
Oh, I don't know about that. It's only been minutes. I mean, how would these guys get in touch with like every hotel in the greater Sacramento area?
Well, I mean, I just assume they start running the names. Right?
Mm.
He looks at his watch, does quick mental calculation.
They have no reason to assume that you were at a hotel at all. I mean, where did you come from? Nobody knows.
Yeah. Well, I just assume with the resources that they have at their disposal, they're not doing a Google search on the 2 names. They're doing a deeper search, and I figure.
Yeah, especially with what especially with what you think they're up to, and what they seem to be up to. It would.
Well, okay, I'll give you that, but I'll also give you this. From personal experience that Somnambula does not call the police; they handle shit themselves.
Okay.
Right? I mean, you've seen it. You've had their cleaners fucking come out.
Yeah. Right. But I think that's sort of right. That would sort of reinforce, I think, what we're thinking, though, right? They don't call the police, but they also know they can also handle their shit with mercenaries.
Yeah, this is not a great hotel, right? So they could reasonably come in here and attempt to murder us in a dingy fucking.
Yeah.
Well, let's decide right now then, because you're either going back to your room, or you're going back, grabbing your shit and leaving, or you're not going back. Which is it?
I think we have to go back and grab our shit, right? I think we have time because all my fucking gear is there.
Yep.
And your gear too, for that matter.
Yep. Yeah, everything's there. I mean, spy kit.
So then he's like, "Fuck." Jasper's being boarded under this name. He's completely fucking paranoid. If they take the cat, he will fucking murder everybody on the planet.
We'll get the cat.
I think
so. Then it's like a quick order of business. Then, right? Get into the room, grab your shit, bail, and then go get Jasper.
Yep.
And then
I don't know. He hasn't planned that far ahead. Because they would have to pay cash to be anywhere. Because they obviously couldn't use their IDs. They couldn't use anything that would identify them anywhere.
I don't think is my house is my apartment.
But I think we can assume that the room is paid because it's all just digital, right? You just swipe your phone over it and it's prepaid.
Yeah.
Jasper is probably prepaid.
Yeah, I think Nash would be super paranoid about them being anywhere where those names have been used now.
We can go to Reggie's place.
You can go to Reggie's place. Yeah.
Nash is like, I've seen too much there.
Well, theoretically, you're still off the grid, so.
Or you could contact some third party and have them handle it for you.
Yeah, do we bring Bento in on this? So like they're in the room like stuffing shit in bags. He's like, do we call Bento?
Let's get Jasper and then we'll call Bento.
All right.
Let's get all of our shit together and then we'll let him know.
All right. So they do that then. So they go grab the cat. They go to. It's like the middle of the morning, right? It's not.
Yeah.
Early afternoon.
It's like not even noon yet.
All right, so they go. I would suggest we go like to the park, right, or something, some open place where we can see what's going on around us. It wouldn't be weird for us to be out. It's the middle of the day.
Out.
And then I guess shoot a text off to Bento, and ask him if he thinks that these IDs have been burned, and. If they can send us cash, right? Or pick us up and put us up.
Yeah, or a place to stay or whatever.
Okay, so you guys you head over to the nearest park is David Foster Wallace Park, and there's a guy there selling churros. You can get some churros, sit down, compose your message to Bento, fire it off, and we will cut to black as you're waiting for his response.
Oh, shit. All right.
Love it.
That motherfucker better answer. See, I don't know why I say all this stuff out loud. I don't need to give you any more ideas.
Leaving us in the lurch.
Well, it'd just be another name on Nash's list.
There you go.
Because it's going to go from self-pity and doubt to murdering a bunch of motherfuckers.
Nice. Rampage.
Good game. Good. I love these games. It's so like even if nothing happens, quote unquote, nothing happens. There's so many things that are going on.
It is. You guys play it different than anybody else. I swear to God. I mean, most people are like, let's do a mission. Let's do another mission. Let's go to different places every time. Right? It's like a monster of the week kind of a thing.
Right.
You guys are in this deep, connected, psychological.
Let's have an emotional experience.
Yeah.
Every damn time.
That was really cool, though. I'm glad you guys finally got inside Somnambula Inc. You guys are a little bit closer to the answer. That was actually, I think that, Agent Rogers was right. It was probably about the best you could have expected from this recon mission.
Sure. I mean, if...
They don't even know what Nash has.
Well, I mean, if Nash had played it a little bit cooler, I mean, they wouldn't know where she was or what those rooms were up on the third floor, but it would give them they had a better idea of the layout to go back and approach it in a different way, right?
Yeah. Do we know why Dark Matter wants an interior layout of Somnambula? Did they go over that? I mean, they didn't.
Bento said he would do whatever he could do to help you. And the purpose of this mission was recon.
Yeah.
So Rogers was there to fill in the gaps, and he's got a low resolution map of the entire building, and you have a high resolution memory of the places where you went. Now, you also know that Bento is interested in the Dream Deck technology itself, or in whatever top secret shit Cordova is doing. So there's that. Mm-hmm. So you know that he said he would do what he could to help you. So there you are. But you also know he has his own motives here because he's interested in that technology.
Right.
Okay,
which we ultimately don't want him to have, much the same way we don't want.
Maybe you hold that blue gel thing close to the vest for now.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean his main priority is Suzie, and then maybe in a secondary way to keep that tech from Dark Matter if we can. I mean, if we can't, it may be just another failed thing to add to.
Oh no!
but if he gets Suzie back, it's less of his concern. Right? Like this everything is being driven by that. So when she's safe, ultimately, it's not our problem. I mean, it may be, but
I like it. We got avenues and things to think about. I like it.
Yeah. So far, so good.
Enjoy your churros, gentlemen.
Credits are rolling. We're just silently eating.
You're breaking off pieces of churro, trying to give them to the cat. I slap your hand.
Your cat's got to eat.
I've got cat food. You can't give him all this bad shit.
I'm sorry. Didn't know. I'm learning something new every day. Look, did you know that they don't even care that they're just like selling these things and then they're not worried about like where they're going afterwards? Did you know that?
It's all about making money.
Well, they want them everywhere.
I was the only one asking any meaningful questions of that whole. None of those people are real journalists.
He just shakes his head as we go down this road again.
Yeah, well, although you did manage to learn that Ingwe Cordova's favorite breakfast is Belgian waffles with fresh fruit, and that he once considered being an Olympic swimmer.
Oh my God!
We poison his Belgian waffles.
Awesome.
Cool.
All right, you guys.
A lot of fun. Thanks for running.
I think that's it. Yeah.
Look forward to the next one. Definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for running, John. Thanks for playing. We unfortunately, Jesse. I guess maybe we should have mentioned this at the beginning. Jesse has had to bow out of this game due to other time constraints. He's running a game. He's playing in another game. Plus the Dragon Fisters are coming back. They're getting ready to start a new campaign. So those episodes should be dropping soon-ish, I guess. So if you're a fan of the Dragon Fisters as well, they're also going to be coming back. So we bid him an adieu from the world of DayTrippers, but Chip himself lives on in our hearts.
And in the Coral Gardens Institution for the Dangerously Insane.
For now.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right, you guys. I am out of here.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Great job.
Good night.
Great game.
Yep.
We'll see you next time.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Thanks for playing.
No problem. We'll get it
schedule for the next one, right? We get this shit going.
Yeah, we'll do email. We got to figure Super Bowl's in February, so it's we have fewer days to choose from.
Yeah.
Unless we do like a midweek game again. I think we were doing Sundays because. All right, let's do software. Thanks for checking this out, everybody. If you like everything, hit the likes and the subscribes. Tell your friends, tell your enemies, tell your grandmother. Share us on all your social media. If you would do that, it would be fantastic. If you like it enough to leave a review, we would totally appreciate that. It helps us out a ton. iTunes, Podchaser, wherever you download us from, leave us a review. That's fantastic. We, like I said, we appreciate it. Much love. Thanks for checking us out, and we'll catch you next time.
Good night.